The kids are
All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. What is up, everybody? All right, good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. All right, so right now we got the co-main, and then we are going to get down to business, y'all. Let me tilt the camera. Hang. All right, guys. So I have gone back and forth all week. I got your chats up. I want to hear it. Who do we got? Who do we got and why? Guys, my phone is acting up. Give me 30 seconds. Literally 30 seconds. The worst time for this, but my phone is busted. Busted. Just fan bleeping tastic. Whatever. Whatever. I'm here for you guys. Whatever. Who cares? Who cares? Who needs a phone? You know? Screw it. Who needs a phone? God, what is so weird? So all right, so as I've said, can you guys hear me by the way? I'm trying a new microphone. I need your feedback on this. So, if it sounds terrible, tell me. If it sounds good, wonderful. Just what happened? My phone is busted. That's what happened. I like the setup in the back. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Guys, let's be clear about this, okay? You don't actually love it. You don't actually love it. Because guess what? I don't love it. I don't even love it. Ideal, but I don't love it. Why would I? I'm going to get to your comments in a second, guys. Hang on. Alrighty. Alrighty, let's see. Can I be host if Rick is absent? No. No, you absolutely cannot. You absolutely cannot. See, this is what's interesting. Everybody on YouTube is like, Spence, Spence, Spence. And every show I've listened to has been like, Terence, Terence, Terence. People called into the Boxing Voice. Shout out to the Boxing Voice. They said they like Terence. The Porterway podcast, they all said Terence. It's really interesting, man. The betting favorite, let me check real quick, but the last time I looked, the betting favorite was Terence. Let me pull up these odds real quick, y'all. Hang on. I'm being very, very, very honest here, okay? Very, very, very honest here. I woke up every day and I felt something different. Because that is how even it is. Literally. Literally how even it is. Let's see. Terence Crawford is still a favorite. Minus 135. So you got to bet 135 to win 100. Spence is at plus 115. I find that to be so interesting, man. So interesting. You guys are saying you can't hear me. Is that true? Is that true? I figured you could. Blues, what did I tell you? Tell me. What did I tell you? Audio is low? All right, hang on. If this was anybody else, by the way, I don't know if y'all are watching this. Esau Cruz would have dropped any other dude. He's landing bombs here. Bombs. Oh. Cruz is wailing on Cabrera in round 8. Wailing. What I love about Cruz, patient. Super patient with his approach. Good combinations. Great power. Oh, here we go. Landed a huge overhand right. Cabrera took it, and they get out of the round. Put UFC on? No. No. Why would I put the UFC on? Are you kidding me? You want to substitute the fight of the year for the UFC. Can't relate. Can't relate. Everybody's saying they hear me fine. I don't know what the hell is going on here. While we're in between rounds, whiskey break. Guys, who do you got? Who do you got? I can hear you, but you're low. What the hell? What the hell? I can't believe that. My audio is pretty high, man. It might just be you. No offense. No offense. All right, on TikTok. Let's see. Not Crawford. Tropical Finance. You can get the hell out of here. Like, I give a damn about what you have to say. Guys, I don't think you understand. If anybody shows the fight, we get booted. It's not happening. Not happening. Allen says Team Spence. GME says Team Spence. Clifford Johnson says Spence. See, this is what's so interesting to me, man. Like, I woke up today and I'm going with my gut and I'm saying Spence. But I'm telling you, every day I've woken up, it's been somebody different. It's been somebody different. And at this point, I'm just being like kind of a bitch about it. And I just have to go with one. Here's how I land, okay? What am I drinking? Whistle Pig whiskey. I bought it for this occasion and this occasion only, by the way. So here's how I look at it. If we look at their careers, Terence is older, but I think it's a wash because Errol got in the car wreck and had to come back. That takes, for lack of a better word, at least career length, years off. I personally, when that happened, did the main event start yet? No. When that first happened, I thought, man, I don't know if he's going to fight again. I don't think you guys remember. He was asleep in a hospital bed because of the wreck. If you guys haven't seen it, I think TMZ had it first. Blues Fever asked what kind of whistle pig. It's like a summer fest. I've never had it before. I love whistle pig though. That's my go-to. It's an expensive bottle, but I freaking dig it. So look, after that happened with Spence, I thought, I don't even know if he's going to fight again. I really, really don't know if he's going to fight again. And then he came back. The best thing, this is a sidebar, the best thing to happen to Manny Pacquiao's career is Errol Spence having a detached retina. Because it would have been Pacquiao Marquez 5, but probably worse. He would have crushed Manny Pacquiao. At least him and Ugas got rounds in. Errol would have hurt him. And then seeing the rumors, mainly after he didn't win the presidency in the Philippines, no disrespect, didn't win the presidency. I want to say Manny Pacquiao got like 4% of the vote. It was bad. It was bad. After that, there was talks about him fighting Conor Benn. Do not fight Conor Benn. There's no reason to fight Conor Benn. Stay away from Conor Benn. Let Conor Benn fight, you know, the Eubanks. Just let him get those rounds in with other people, not like an ancient Manny. Okay? So getting back to Errol. I didn't know if he would fight again, okay? I actually think the division lined up for him perfectly to take on Yordenis Ugas. I went to that fight and I covered that fight in Carson, California, ringside for Uninterrupted when Ugas fought Sean Porter. Close fight. I had Porter winning 115-113, mad close. Ugas can thud, not like Errol can thud. Okay? When I go to Terence, Isaac Cruz had the towel on his head as he was going back to fight in round 10. Like, he might have forgot something. So, after I watched Ugas up close and personal, I knew he couldn't compete with Errol's speed. Terence has taken on the same guys that Errol has. However, you know, again, for lack of a better phrase, let's say, Terence had Errol's sloppy seconds, but looked better. The first fight that I knew like Terence was real good was when he fought Yuriorkis Gamboa. Gamboa was aged. He was seasoned. Gamboa was still quality. Beat the brakes off, dude. Beat the brakes off, dude, okay? On top of that, he has power. We all know that he switches to southpaw even though he's an orthodox righty fighter, okay? My question to everybody watching on TikTok and on YouTube, I think Errol can take Terence's best shot. My question is, can Terence take Errol's best shot? I don't think he can. It's basically going to be Isaac Cruz is so close to knocking out Cabrera, y'all. He is landing bombs. And Cabrera's hanging in there. Huge advantage. Mono? Do I have mono? What? What? Philip Yap says Boots Ennis beats both of them. Man. Can you imagine Boots and Errol? Oh, my goodness. Do I have mono? No, I don't have mono, bro. I've never had mono. I can only hear out of one AirPod. Well, that's interesting. Let's take a look at that. Here's the question to you, my friend. Are you only wearing one AirPod? Because if that's the case, don't be ashamed of it. Here's the thing, man. We all lose the second AirPod. All right? We all lose it. It happens. Don't be mad. Don't be upset. It's okay. It's okay. My settings are stereo, so I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It says it's good. Mono audio? Nah. Not that I see. I could check one more setting for you, but I'm telling you, my settings look on point. Nah, it says it looks good. I don't know what to tell you, bro. How's that? Guys, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know, man. I just don't think Bud can take his best shot. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. Here's what I will say, though. Here's what I will say. Errol can get hit. My sound is good. Man, are you guys messing with me? Errol can get hit a lot, actually. Did the fight start yet? No. Errol can get hit a lot, guys. A real lot. When Errol comes in, we know his strategy, usually thudding body shots. Body shot, body shot, body shot. Over and over and over and over and over again. When he's coming in, though, considering it's essentially a southpaw in Terence, I don't know. He can easily catch him coming in. I just think Errol can take it. I really do. Champ says, shout out Rick. Always does a great job and always come through in the clutch. How you do it, the world will never know. How do I do it? I'll tell you how I do it. Coffee. Coffee. Just pounds and pounds and pounds of coffee. Rick, favorite restaurant in LA you'll miss? There's a few. There's a few. Favorite restaurant in LA that I'll miss? All time. All time. If you are in LA and you like a breakfast burrito, you better get your ass to All Time in Silver Lake-ish area. That place is that's the best breakfast burrito I've ever had. Period. Period. Like lunch, Ms. Lala, bomb. So freaking good. Best pizza? Man, I got to think about it. LA's not a pizza town, but I'll think about it. Are they fighting? Yes, they are fighting. Are they fighting? Yeah, bro, they're fighting. They're fighting out there. Cruz and Cabrera. There was a slip. Cruz fell over a little bit, keeled over. It was definitely their feet getting tangled. Where am I moving? I'm in Chicago, brother. Had to move back. Had to do it. I know. I know it sucks. I know. Guys, by the way, if you guys are boxing fans, I know like the streaming stuff is the way to go. I'm trying to tell you guys, okay? I'm really trying to tell you guys to support this great sport. And I know I'm going to sound like a wiener here, just hear me out. To support this great sport and you want to see the best fight the best, you got to sacrifice every once in a while, get your buddies together and pay for it. I'm telling you. Like, I hope this does 1 million buys, but because I understand where we are as a country, folks are struggling. Do what you got to do, all right? But I'm telling you, If you want to see the best fight the best, you got to pay every once in a while. Get freaking 20 people in there and have them pay $5. You got to show your appreciation every once in a while, guys. This only fight one. I'm sure there's going to be 3. Depends how it ends. There was something weird that I was hearing with the rematch clause. I don't know. I mean, look, it depends how it goes. It depends how it goes. If it's controversial, I hope. If it's convincing and Bud wins, where does he go from there? Mafiano says, I don't want to ever hear he beat Tank. He didn't beat Tank. It was close. It was damn close, but he didn't beat Tank. I think I had Tank up by like 2 rounds, 2 to 3 rounds, I want to say. Good and Plenty says, I need Spence to win even as a Omaha native. Shout out to Omaha, man. I remember driving from Chicago to LA, LA to Chicago. This is like COVID when it was the fear of like, you know, crazy fears. And my wife and I agreed because we had never like driven like that. We drove around. I stopped in Lincoln, Nebraska twice, brother. And let me tell you something. That place is awesome. Lincoln, Nebraska is cool. I loved it. I loved it. Great college town. I give Cabrera a lot of credit, y'all. A lot of credit. He's losing convincingly. He has taken humongous shots. And he's still there. And he's still throwing. Awkward style. Hands down. Rick, favorite coffee place in LA? I'm not that guy. I don't think that, like, get it where you can, all right? Get it where you can. Not a guy who spends money on coffee. My wife and I got this coffee machine. And let me tell you, I've saved a ton of money. I'll drink ass coffee, by the way. I will drink coffee. This is a true story. When I had, and I'm sure some of you guys have seen it on TYT Sports, again, true story, just, if you get woozy, you might want to just pause for a second or put your earmuffs on. My ankle fell off my body. I couldn't walk for about 6 or 7 months. When I was at UCLA, this is a basketball injury, by the way, non-contact. When I was at UCLA, no lie, on ketamine, they put it back in place, couldn't walk for 7 months. Second day in the hospital, I was like, can I just have coffee? And they were like, yeah, but it's terrible. I was like, that's fine. Just get me coffee. I will take it. I will drink anything. And so I did. I could drink any freaking kind of coffee. Any. It doesn't matter to me. Cabrera and Cruz, round 12, y'all. Cruz landing and cannot stop this dude. Westside said he took Tank to 12. He did. And Tank won. He also say something. Rolly, I give him credit for staying relevant. I'm serious. I think he's good for the sport. I think anybody who can continue to stay relevant with limited skills, love it. Good for you. Go get your money. However, I will say this. I don't think Rolly's that good. Like, I see a lot of people in the TikTok. I see people on YouTube. Was there any doubt that Tank was going to end that fight inside of 6, 7? Has anybody seen Rolly's fights? And Rolly is like, I'm not trying to be an ass here, okay? Rolly is like a quality B minus C plus fighter. Like C plus. He's got power, kinda. Against Barroso, he got bailed the blank out. Brutal stoppage. I understand where Tony Weeks is coming from. I understand that Rolly was fighting an old man. That fight should not have been stopped, and he was losing. And that's happened multiple times where he's losing and he's been gifted a decision. Eric Shank says, "What's TikTok, bro?" You know, it's this thing. It's this thing. Did the fight start yet? No. Guys, who do we got? I want to hear everybody's predictions. I want to know how you see it going. I want to know how you see it ending. If it's by knockout, hit me. Hit me. I want to hear it right now. Right now. Tell me. Who do we got? Who do we got? Cruz Cabrera just ended. We're about to get the scorecards. And then we're in business. Hang on, I got to adjust this stupid-ass microphone. Oh, sorry, guys. Good. Let's see. Martinez says, "Nice listening to you talk about sports. I mostly see your cop videos, which I love." Yeah, 100%. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining the fun. Let's see. They're reading the scores. Hang on. Cabrera. Cruz. Oh, baby. Reported. Why am I reported? I'm just talking. Oh, my God. Isaac Cruz wins. Wow. But barely. Did Pitbull Cabrera happen? Yes. Cruz just won on 2 or 3 cards, but it was close. It was close. All right, let me get to these predictions, y'all. Here we go. Let's see. Here we go. Marco Rivera says more like C. Rolly is only relevant because he comes from the Mayweather camp. I mean, that could easily be, brother. Let's see. Tommy Gunn says Spence. Stacy Reed says Spence. Robinson Lee Jr. Is the main event starting now? S123. I would say it about. They're interviewing Cruz, so I'd say 30-ish, I'd say. Papa says Spence. Marco Rivera says Spence KO in round 9. That's the first time I've seen somebody say that Spence is going to knock out Terence Crawford. Man, I would be shocked. I'll find out what the betting lines are on that in a minute. That is really, really interesting. Spence going to win, but I want Bud to win, says Red Chrysler 33. Do they make Chryslers anymore, brother? True story. My grandfather who passed, RIP to him, had a green Chrysler LeBaron. If you don't know what that is, Google it. Those were fly. Let's see. Tie to Brazilian. I got Spence by TKO. Justin, one of the first dudes to say Bud. Barra Johnson 815. Bud. User 54993. Blah, 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 blah. Crawford decision. Let's see. Don on YouTube says Spence. Herb Delights on YouTube. Crawford. Guys, give me reasons. I have no problem reading these because I like this is truly how it is that it's so split, but I want to hear why. Why? Let's see. Lexi, appreciate you joining. She says Spence. Robinson Lee, 8. Joe. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Crawford knockout. I don't know what round. Let me tell you. Ballsy move. Ballsy move. Sensual says Spence for the win. Angel Amaros 942 says Crawford. I am legendary says Rick Strom versus Spence. I got my money on Errol Spence Jr. Judah 724 says gonna be good. Fire emoji. Did not give a prediction. Just said it will be good. And you know, I tend to agree. Who won the Cruz fight? Asked some dude with emojis. Cruz won on 2 out of 3 scorecards. Steve Farhood had the unofficial 116-111. I thought that was probably fair. The judges had it way too close. Way too close. It wasn't that close. Marco Rivera, Spence, 9th round. What the hell is up with this microphone? Spence, 9th round KO. He's going to wear Bud down with body shots. Exactly what we were talking about a little bit ago. Someone asked, is Donald Trump free? We are literally talking about boxing. Let's see. David Amber says Terence, Bud, Crawford. Did Pitbull Cabrera happen? Yes, it just ended. Oh, crap. I just got refreshed. Andrew Singh, what's good, baby? As I've said before, I'm going to read more of these. As I said before, I truly, truly, truly believe Errol can take Bud's best shot. I don't think Terence can take Errol's best shot. I think the body shots wear down the smaller man. Errol is going to get hit, as he always does. He might get a little woozy. He will never get completely hurt. That's just how I see it. Got to mute some trolls in here. Hang on. Bye, Thomas. Good talking to you, brother. We're not going to do that in here. We're talking boxing. Also, get a job. All right, here we go. 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 Yo, here we go. Yo, so what's up? You know, as I'm going through these comments, I'm going to read more. We're listening to Paul's Boutique on the way. I don't know why I had to mention that, but look. Great album. 266 says we smoking Bud. Blues Fever on YouTube. Thoughts on how Teofimo Lopez has been recently? Chaotic, yet strategic. He's been hypocritical in saying he wants to retire, but then he's also saying that, and it's not about the money, but then he's saying he'll unretire if he gets paid enough. He's not done. We all know he's not done. He's trying to strong-arm whatever he has right now into getting the highest payday, which, let's be very clear, that's what these guys do. They fight for pride, they fight for legacy, and they fight for money. I can't hate on him for trying to play the game to get that much more instead of making himself readily available throughout the process to say, oh, yeah, I'll fight him. Oh, yeah, I'll fight him. It, like, strategically doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Any. However, I will say this. He showed me a lot after the Taylor fight. He made a world-class fighter like Taylor look like JV. JV. I thought the Taylor-Regis fight was close. I either had Regis winning by a round or it being a draw. The Jack Catterall fight didn't look good. I had Catterall winning. I suppose this is the seismic effect of having close wins over and over and over again. Teofimo had never looked better, ever. Like, he avenged the Kambosos loss, even though it's like a weird round robin of like Loma, Kambosos, Teofimo. But the Kambosos fight, he nearly died because he had a collapsed lung. In the Loma fight, he won, but Loma needed shoulder surgery, so he was already ailing. He already had a ailing injury in that fight. So I give him credit, obviously, for winning. If you beat Loma, even at Loma at 70% is still Loma, right? However, it is interesting to just like go over everything and see what we have. So to answer your question, how do I feel Tio's been recently? All over the place, yet strategic. All right. More comments. Sinu Abibi says Spence, but going the distance. All right. Let's see. Spaceman Glow says Bud's second round. All right, we got to pull up these betting odds because you guys, I think, are talking crazy. And you know what? I'm gonna remember your username if I'm wrong. Spaceman Glow. That's easy to remember. Spaceman Glow. If that happens, I'll find a way to like send you a koozie or something, brother, because I just don't see it. All right. Betting pro. I'll get back to more. Canelo is getting too old to box. He'll be retiring soon. As fans of boxing, we need to look at the future, not at the past. My guy, we are in a great place. We are in a great place. Trust. There's no reason to even fear like where the sport is. I actually think there was a bigger fear. I want to say about what's the year 2023? About a decade ago. Like I think with the heavyweights looking good, always good to have them. I think people honestly, and this is terrible to say, but I'm just going off of what I know. It really, really seemed like people were just bored of the Klitschko's. They were just bored of them. Now we're having the best fight the best. Although Ryan did not win, and although he got stopped, everybody wants a piece of him, and he'll sell tickets. Regis actually looking bad in his last fight did a lot more for him because more guys are going to want to fight him, whereas he was like totally avoided. Totally avoided. So, who asked that question? I don't remember who asked that question, but look, we're in a good place. It was Herb Delights. Great name. We're fine. Do not worry about it. We're great. We're in a great place. Yes, there are always some divisions that are going to be a little lax. We're fine. Trust me. All right. Talk. User 615. Spence for the win. Let's see. Restock says Tank is going to win easy. I'm not going to lie to you. No idea what you're talking about. No disrespect. No disrespect. I'm telling you, he's not fighting. Okay, betting props. Then I'll get to more comments. Terence minus 140. Spence plus 120. Over 10.5 rounds is minus 270. So you have to lay 270 to win 100. Under 10.5 is plus 190. So if Soulman Glow, I might have already butchered it. My bad. If Soulman Glow, if that's his name, is right, he should bet heavy on it going under 10.5 because that's plus 190. Your best odds are under 7.5. That's plus 370. So you bet 100, you win 370. Errol Spence Jr. to win by knockout. This is where I think your best odds are. Plus 1,200. You bet 100 to win 1,200. He has the knockout power. By the way, I am not telling you what to bet. I'm being very clear about this. I don't bet on this stuff. I can't tell you how many family members have told me. Sorry, I'm getting up and what's personal real quick. I can't tell you how many family members have said to me, "Wait, so you just like watch sports?" Yeah, MFer, I just watch sports. I don't bet on this stuff. I also think, and I've known people even in my industry who bet. I think it's a conflict of interest when you're trying to call stuff objectively and you have action on it. And explain this to me. How is it not a conflict of interest? That. However, if I was a betting man and I had $100 just to blow, I'd go Errol Spence by knockout plus 1,200. Errol Spence by TKO plus 750. Or if you're a Terence guy, Terence to win by knockout plus 800. TKO plus 380. There you go. There's my take. Kegel's Corner says Bud in the 8th. All right, let's get your odds for the 8th. I think I already did. Yeah, I did. Under 8.5 plus 310. So 7.5 is 370. Under 8.5 is 310. Dolo_Mello says Crawford. Love it. Stacy Reed asks what my prediction is. Again, I know some people have been watching now for probably however long we've been on, 40 some minutes, an hour. But I woke up every day with a different reaction on how I think this is going to be for like weeks, literally weeks. I had no doubt, by the way, Inoue was going to win. Every day I've woken up with a different feeling. And I guess I'm just going with today, and I think Errol's going to win. But it's so thin, guys. I don't feel confident. That's how close it is. I don't feel confident at all. But you're asking for my prediction. I suppose I'll just go with Errol, but it's so close, guys. Mux 70 says Bud in 10. Dave Gunn says Chrysler 300. You know what time it is. Let's see. Jason Tom says Terence Bud Crawford for the win. Alter Ego says you can't pick in this fight if you know That's exactly how I feel, brother. That's exactly how I feel. You can't pick. Nobody feels confident. The only people that feel confident are the promoters, the camps, and the friends. That's it. That's it. No one can feel confident about this. Are you kidding? It's so even. Someone's telling me that the mic is screwed up again. Man, I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to tell you. Waylon Bailey says Spence. Wayne McCoy 41 says Bud. See, this is how razor thin it is. We're going back and forth and back and forth. Weedman 92. Love it. Says Bud, best pound for pound boxer. Hashtag Nebraska. Oh, that whistle pick is good. Here's the thing. Is Bud the best pound for pound? Is he? What Inoue did was really good, guys. Really good. I'll read you the zones. Jimmy Lennon Jr. looking swell. Navy blue tux, black trim, white. What do you call that in the pocket, in the front pocket? I'm blanking on it. Pocket square. Got it. Ding, ding, ding. All right. Top 10 pound for pound according to DAZN. You guys can tell me if you agree or disagree. Naya Inoue. It's like, you guys could say, like, it's cool if you don't watch the lower weight classes. I get it. But it's a hard argument to go against him. Alexander Usyk at number 2. Terence Bud Crawford at number 3. Canelo Alvarez at number 4. Dimitri Bivol at number 5. Errol Spence at number 6. Devin Haney at number 7. Gore Stevenson, number 8. Mel Charlo, number 9. And Gervonta Tank Davis at number 10. All right, more. Here for jokes and compliments. I can't read. I'm an idiot. Spence, round 7, all body punches. That's going to be the key. When he comes in and goes to the body, is Bud going to be able to counter that and go over the top with his punches? He also gets wild with his. He also likes to throw to the body. I just don't think those body shots can get to Errol. Rick Sorungvasai kind of fell off after Chocolatito. Thoughts on him? I think you hit the nail on the head. I still think he'll be back, but yeah. Guys, they're going through the video montage of both men. And Errol is walking. My God. As someone who has covered multiple fights, I wonder what the atmosphere is like. I really do. Being inside of that arena, it is electric. All right, let me get to more comments. What time does it start? Right freaking meow. Pooty Firm 876 is Crawford by decision. Let's see. SAIP 670 says Bud by TKO round 1 by uppercut. That might be one of the craziest comments I've ever seen, but my guy, all the power to you. Every Houston rapper is hard. Texas rapper, excuse me. Every Texas rapper is just hard. So Errol's walking, taking his time. No smiles. No smiles. All business. All business. Dan says, I wonder how nervous these guys feel at this moment. Again, it's funny, but when I had it on earlier, and the fight is starting right now, yes. And Errol is being interviewed by Jim Gray, the legendary Jim Gray. And she heard Errol talking, and she's like, he's too calm. You're about to go get punched in the face. He's too calm. Could never be too calm. So what's going through their mind? Annihilation. But it's also, let's be real about this, a feeling that 99.9% of society will never know. Ever. They will never, ever, ever know. They will never put themselves in a position to be undisputed champ at 147 pounds. Ever. Ever. Here's my question, because I saw Michael Buffer going back and forth with some folks on Twitter. Is this a bigger fight than Pacquiao Mayweather? And it's subjective how you take in that question. But I want to hear what you guys. Whoa! I want to hear what you guys have to say. Roxanne says Bud by unanimous decision. Wayne McCoy, Bud got the power. Living Life 706 says Spence decision. Let's see. Red Chrysler, excuse me, says Porter gave him a little trouble because of how. My bad. Impetus he is. Did Cruz lose? No, he won. Birdman Fly Chris. What happened to that boy? Said knockout in 4. By who? By who? Oh my God. Bud's coming out to Eminem. Oh my God, bro. Insane. Insane. Bud is coming out with Eminem to lose yourself because they had a back and forth on social media like 2 days ago where he was like, I'm a big fan. You're my favorite boxer. And here we go. This is incredible. This is incredible. Eminem? Can I change my prediction? Oh my God, bro. Insane. Eminem is not rapping the words, by the way. Does he have a microphone in his hand? Is he just waiting for it? He's not rapping, but they're coming out together. And honestly, second best song. Second best song. If you're going to come out to a song, why is that insane? My guy, do you not follow the sport? Do you not get up for the big fights? This dude asks, why is that insane? Are you all right? It's a great night of boxing. No, I'm not all right. I'm ecstatic. Fool. Bud is wearing a huge chain that says Prime. Oh, what I was going to say? Second best song to come out to by Eminem. What's the first? What's the first? Till I Collapse. R.I.P. Nate Dogg. That's the best one. Let's see. Marco Rivera, body shots. Crawford is tender in the right side. I actually like that prediction. All right, Bud, stepping in the ring. He's wearing a fishnet. Oh, the pettiness. I freaking love it. It's so petty. It's so petty. Oh my god, I love this. I love this. How did you feel when HBO did their last broadcast? I cried. I legit cried watching Lampley do his monologue. Had to get this on screen. I appreciate the $4.99. You don't have to do it, but I appreciate it. How did I feel? Awful, because that's less boxing. Having competition is good. Having less is bad. I'm happy we have DAZN. I'm happy we have Showtime. Like, it's cool. I'm happy we have ESPN and Top Rank. It feels weird because I grew up on HBO boxing, if I'm being really clear about it. Kumbaya, my lord, says Crawford will catch his shin and feel it. Chin. I have to assume that's chin. That's what I have to assume. Let's see. Let's see. When does the fight start? Right freaking now. Jess, or S, says Errol's taking the W. Can't really disagree. Todd Peck says you love Crawford. I actually predicted Errol because you guys like basically said, "Hey, gun to your head. Who you picking? Who you picking?" And I already said it's a pick 'em. Just straight up pick 'em. I cannot believe we're actually doing this, y'all. Incredible. Alex says, "Who's trying to bet?" Get at Alex on TikTok right now. I weirdly have confidence in that guy. Pound for pound, Devin, says Stacy Reed. Dude Farm says, when does it start? Right freaking now. Todd Pex, no. Full of energy, no. Max says Crawford and 8 by KO. Big Tooley says, when's the fight? I'm telling you, it's right freaking now. Jimmy Lennon Jr. is introing both fighters. Todd Peck says, if Crawford wins, best pound for pound. Maybe. Maybe. Got to see how it goes. Let's see. T-Double, no, I'm not. Terry, no, I'm not. Flocka, no, I'm not. Sean Robinson says the fight's going to be a draw. I don't think so. What 10 inches? What are you guys talking about over here? What is going on the YouTube chat, y'all? What is happening here? KC listening from Tokyo, Japan. Shout out KC. KC. Casey, are you from Tokyo or you're just chilling there? Let's see. Neil John Nang says even boxers. I'll take Las Vegas underdog Spence. I can't believe he's an underdog, man. Heaven I Love You said, did Cruz lose? No, he won. He won a lot better. And it was close. It was close and not close enough. What the hell? Kess, what are you doing, man? Shakur's the best pound for pound? No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Not yet. Close. Johnny, super racist comment. Not going to even read it. Let's see. Todd, North Omaha. No joke. I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. All right, David, be good, brother. Randolph says Crawford in the 5th by KO. Todd says his rent is on Bud. My God, I wish you luck. Taboo says I got 10,000 on Earl. Earl sweatshirt? You mean Errol. You mean Errol. You rule. No, you rule, brother. Guys, who do we got? Who do we got? Let's go. It's close. Herb Delight says, I'm getting ready to smoke my Spence pack. Adi Lauren says, in a way, best pound for pound. I mean, that's probably it. To be honest with you, that's probably it. Boy, the Bud crowd is loud. Loud. Where's M? M's not in the ring. 39-0, man. Blue says, Rick, what fight are you looking forward to after this one? Brother, we haven't even started and you're asking me to look ahead? No can do. No can do. E18 R. Leone says, Bud is going to lay Spence out. I just had those odds. Hang on a minute. If you take Bud by knockout, you're plus 800. So you bet 100 to win 800. Terence Crawford to win by TKO, 380. You bet 380 to win. I'm sorry, you bet 100 to win 380. I actually think Errol has more fans. I think it's louder for Errol as they're introing him. Man, Derek James is so into it. So into it. 28-0. 22 knockouts. Fought sparingly. Bud in the 7 says Benjamin Williams. Mimi says Tim Tszyu should fight the winner. Absolutely not. No. No. Bud going up to 54, he would have to show me something here. That's a big jump. Have you seen Bud lose? No. ... says Bud Gang. And he has some really bad emojis. Best pound for pound says Stacy is Gervonta. I don't know. I don't know about that, man. I don't think so. Can't take him. All right, they're meeting. Instructions are coming in. Woohoo, baby! They touch gloves. Here we go. All right, if you got one, smoke it. If you're drinking, here's there, buddy. Here we go, y'all. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I am shivering right now with excitement. Terence stoic. Errol focused. Oh, my goodness. God, I have no horse in the race, and my heart is beating. Just beating. Here we go. Round 1 begins. Somebody's ringtone is going off right by the broadcast team. Terence, starting southpaw. Errol the natural. Yo, someone has to shut that phone up. You can hear it on the broadcast. It's insane. There we go. Someone just got yelled at. I'm trying to see what Terence is going to land, because as of right now, they're in the middle of the ring, and Terence is getting slightly walked down. Errol jab to the body. Terence blocks. Terence follows up with a double jab. Errol tries a jab. I think everybody's prediction about Errol was on point. He's going to look for those body shots. It's a jab contest as we're almost a minute and a half into the first round. Just jab, jab, jab. Errol walks Terence down, lands one body shot, they tie up. Now that Errol's slightly on the back foot, I'm interested to see if Terence can keep him there. He doesn't. Errol goes forward, 3 jabs to the body, which I like. I like that he's jabbing to the body. Errol left hook to the body lands. It is interesting because Errol is the fast starter, as they just mentioned on the broadcast, and Terence is not. Terence is the inverse. They're in the middle of the ring. Terence not really doing much. Errol's out jabbing. Terence is trying to answer with jabs of his own. It's just back and forth, back and forth. 40 seconds left in round 1. Errol's ring generalship is really showing in round 1. He is backing Terence up. Terence is in the corner. Errol with a huge attempt at a body shot. Crawford comes back over the top of the left that connects to Errol's temple. 20 seconds left in the first round so far. If it ends here, Spence 10-9. Too much action. Good jabs from Terence. 2 just landed. It's a jabathon so far. I think Terence knows he probably lost the round, going to try to land something here at the bell. He does not. We end round 1. How do y'all got it? Who do you got? Hit me. Commentary and comments. The CNCs, y'all. Stacey Reed is all in on Errol. Random clips edits. Spence is going to win. Mimi on YouTube says Errol needs to get inside. It's only round 1, baby. Come on now. We're only 3 minutes in. User 817 says Spence 10-9. Stacey Reed says Spence 1-9. Dominic says Spence 1-9. Boxing training page has Spence winning. I agree, guys. I agree. Uriel Campos agrees as well. Spence in 10 KO. Excuse me, I was... I'm an idiot. I thought you were going with 10-9. He says Spence in 10. K1_SZX. Spence round 1. I agree. We go to round 2. Let me take a swig of whiskey here. We're at 240 of round 2, y'all. All right. So here's what's going to happen, guys. Errol is coming in. I don't know if he's trying to lay a trap by doing this, knowing that Bud is a slow starter, but he is taking his head off the line, jabbing, pushing forward, going in close quarters. When Terence is up against the ropes, he's trying to land body shots. If he lets his hands go there, Terence can easily do a sharp right hook over the top or counter with a left and get out. Errol is like, in my opinion, and I know I said this before, but he's opening up when he's coming forward and trying to throw to the body, and he is susceptible to getting hit. 140 left in the second round. It's been pretty split. Errol tries landing an over-the-hand left. They're in a phone booth, and Spence throws 3 punches. 2 of them landed. They go at a distance. They jab to the body. Does Errol to Terence. 120 left in the second round. They're in the middle of the ring. Terence hardly throwing in the last 40 seconds or so. Errol keeping his distance. Bud maybe feeling like he has to answer to get in the judges' ways of winning this round. 107 left in the second round. They trade in the middle of the ring. Errol, jab, tries going to the body, misses. All right, so we're seeing something here. Errol tried throwing to the body, and as I predicted, Terence tried throwing a right hook over the top. Errol is coming in, he's dipping in, and that's when Terence can catch him. And the crowd knows it. They're starting to react to when Terence is throwing. Terence starting to let his hands go. Errol jabs to the body, then gets out. If they fight at a distance, man, I don't know who I got. Spence lands an okay body shot, didn't do much. Terence's jabs are strong. Oh, Terence just drops Errol in the second round! In the second round! As predicted, Errol was ducking down into his shots. Bud lands a counter and Errol's down for the first time in his career. 7 seconds left in the second round. Bud not pressing. Now he's pressing. Lands a straight left. The bell rings. We get out of the round. Holy shit. Ooh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby boy. Oh, baby boy. Whoa, baby. As predicted by yours truly, that is why you come here. I said it 30 seconds before. Errol has got to be careful when he's ducking in. He is susceptible to counter punches. And he got nailed with a straight right, a counter right by Terence Bud Crawford, and put him on his ass for the first time in his exceptional Hall of Fame career. It was Errol coming in, no feints, just coming in straight. Terence actually missed with a left and then landed with a straight right. It wasn't uber powerful. It was more shocking than anything, in my opinion. I think Errol's going to be fine, but it is something to pay attention to. A humongous 10-8 round. Errol looks like he's bleeding by his right eye, and Errol out of nowhere is now pressing Terence in the third round. Probably because what he just said, what Derek James said to him was, don't fight at a distance. Get inside. That's what I think he's saying. Get inside. Even though Errol has the reach, Terence is too good and too skillful and too good of a counterpuncher overall. And that's exactly what Errol's doing. Errol is backing up Terence into a corner and just bullying him. Body shot, body shot, body shot over and over. The crowd is going freaking wild. Errol's trying to make it a phone booth. Jab to the body, jab to the body. Terence answers back, trying to get it to the center of the ring with 3 jabs of his own. Body shot by Terence. Solid. They tie up and they break. Holy fuck. We're in the third round, y'all. Errol keeping his distance. 145 left. Good jab to the body by Terence Bud Crawford. Errol is trying to walk down his opponent as the bigger man, and that's exactly what he's doing. Terence is moving pretty well. However, in all of these title fights, I do not like a fighter moving over and over and over again because their legs are due to tire in the championship rounds. Bud is clearly trying to counter when Errol comes in, and let me tell you, it is there. Errol is not taking his head off the line at all when he's coming in and he's throwing body shots. And now Bud is backing Errol up. 108 left in the third round in what has been a tremendous fight thus far. Stiff jab by Terence. Errol throws. Terence comes back with 2 that connect to Errol's head. And Errol ties up. 53 seconds left in the third round. Terence, the masterful counterpuncher, is looking fan-bleeping-tastic. The biggest problem here, 40 seconds left in the third round, is Errol is coming in. He's leaving his head on the line. He just got jabbed hard by Terence Crawford. Threw a wild left hook. Bud counters with a counter right. Those jabs are getting to Errol Spence's right eye. It is swelling. Jab again. It is stiff. It is powerful. 13 seconds left in the third round. In what has been another winning round for Bud. Man, Errol has got to land something here. Wow. Wow. Dominic says Bud is up 2 rounds. I completely agree. With the 10-8 round, he's actually up 3. Hang on, I got to listen to what Derek James is. Keep stepping around him. When you get tight, shoot the jab. Here's what Bomac's saying. Keep jabbing. Keep jabbing. Keep jabbing. Switch speeds. He's going to get careless. Give me a deep breath. My God, guys. Bud looks mad focused. He looks mad focused. Todd Peck says the rent looks good. Don says Bud is tearing his ass up. No cap. Kind of is. The biggest problem is Bud's speed. Round 4 starts. Bud's speed and his counterpunching. Errol's got to just fight it in a phone booth. The reach doesn't mean anything because Bud's keeping it at a perfect distance that Errol's reaching. And when he's reaching, Terence is just taking advantage over and over again. 230 at round 4 in what has been, aside from the first round, all Terence, Bud, Crawford over and over again. Errol and Bud leaning on each other. I think this is exactly where Errol needs to be. His nose is busted. Errol, that is. His nose is busted, guys. Good body shot from Errol. Good jab from Terence. Good uppercut from Errol in the pocket. Bud pushes him off as they're in the middle of the ring. 2:03 left in the 4th round. Left hook lands, followed by an uppercut with Bud. Errol just throws a low blow that the ref didn't see because he was at a bad position. 1:54 left in the 4th round. Terence's hand speed and his counterpunching has won him the fight. Oh, Terence just landed a huge left on Errol. Took it well. Errol just got hit with another left hook. Bud lands another on Errol. He is backing up, smiling at Bud, but he is hurt. 130, Bud staying poised and controlled, which I like. Not attacking somebody who is uber dangerous like Errol. Bud is looking phenomenal. Phenomenal. And Errol looks tired, y'all. He looks tired. These shots are taking a toll on Errol Spence Jr. 108 left in the 4th round. Ever since the first, which we gave to Errol, it's been all Bud. Bud dropped him in the 2nd round, won the 3rd round convincingly, winning the 4th round convincingly. Very convincingly. Where is the defense from Errol? He's just staying there. He's just staying in the pocket. Staying at too good of a distance, and now he's getting walked down by Bud. Tough jab by Bud. Oh, my goodness. Errol took it, and he lands a body shot on Bud. My God, Bud just looks fantastic. Yin Yang says he can't breathe out of his nose. That could very well be true. 23 seconds left in round 4. Errol has got to land something, and he's got to land something big. Big. I don't know what the strategy here is. He's getting walked down. He's getting beat by the smaller man. The power shots are not landing. I don't know what they don't see. Bud just landed one to the body, and Errol dropped both of his hands. This is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. Round 4 goes to Bud. The jabs are taking a toll, y'all. These are hurting. The jab is setting up everything. Everything for Bud. If he were a pitcher, his jab would be a Aroldis Chapman fastball at this point. Too many are landing, and it's opening up everything. Errol's defense is bad. His face is beaten up. This is all Bud, y'all. All Bud. Surprisingly lopsided. Derek James just said, move your feet. Watch your head movement, which he's not doing. Which is all true. It's all true. His head movement is awful. They're about to start round 5, and then they call time. The doctor is looking at Errol Spence. Are you ready to go? I'm just checking on you, says the doctor. Thanks for wasting our time, y'all. He literally just checked on him. The hell? What the hell was that? Round 5 begins, and Spence's defense, awful. His head movement, awful. He is getting countered left and right. Bud just lands 4 straight shots, thudding shots on Errol. Errol has no head movement, guys. I don't know what else to say. This is one-sided. One-sided. My goodness. Errol looks like he has no power on his punches, and Bud is just landing so many jabs. However, I think Bud needs to land another big shot and put Errol down again. Errol just gets warned for low blows. It's a 12-round fight. Errol has knocked out Kell Brook in the late rounds in a championship fight. I really don't know what the strategy here is. However, do not rule out Errol. I know it's one-sided. I know it's bad. All it takes is one big shot from Errol. To his detriment, really, he's taking a lot of shots. A lot of shots. 135 left in the 5th round. I seem worried. No, I'm just calling it as I see it. We're in round 5. Errol's reaching. What I give credit to is Bud's footwork, keeping this at a perfect range. So Errol's reaching and he's countering beautifully. What I will say is the jabs from Bud have been the key. Good uppercut from Bud, and then he gets out. 55 seconds left in round 5. I think Errol needs to get in closer and not keep this at a distance. Paid for the pay-per-view, and I'm getting a video playback error. Are you kidding? Okay, we're good. About to lose my mind. Oh, Bud just landed a huge left on Spence. 22 seconds left in the 5th round. Errol is surviving a storm that is going through the entire night and the next day. 10 seconds left in round 5. Errol's face looks like a red Jolly Rancher at this point. Round 5, in the books. This is all Bud. This is all Bud, y'all. All right. Do we think Errol has anything back? Can he get anything back, rather? What do y'all think? Is Errol just weathering the storm? He's hitting you with too many jabs, Derek James says. That's true. Don't give him the space. Exactly what I was just saying. Walk him down, he says. Exactly as I was just saying. Don't stand in front of him, says Derek James. Good blanking jab. They're telling Bud in his corner. Keep up the jabs. The jabs are winning him the fight. Conlin 101 on YouTube says, Errol Spence Jr., I didn't expect this to be so hard for him. Is he actually weight trained, or am I just coping? You're coping. You're coping. Bud is getting backed up. 6th round at 240. Bud is walking Errol down because he knows that Errol is going to put his foot on the gas. Errol lands a few body shots. The jabs of Bud are just taking out the momentum of Errol Spence's offensive attack over and over. I mean, I don't know why he's not covering up. Not necessarily that a peekaboo is his style, but literally anything. Anything but this. Good uppercut from Terence in the pocket. 204 in the 6th round. I'm telling you, Errol's face is like big red gum, man. It's swollen, it's bruised, and it's bright red. I don't know if Errol's nose is broken, but he is like hardcore open mouth breathing. and Terence is not. Oh, a jab buckled Errol's knees in the middle of the ring. Man, Terence looks good. Boy, does he look good. Body shot by Errol. Terence landed a counter left, and the ref stopped it for a low blow on Errol. 120 in the 6th round. Errol's got no defense, y'all. Counter right by Bud. The hand speed is blistering. 105 left in the 6th round. After the first, it has been all Terence Bud Crawford. He dropped Errol for the first time in Errol's career in round 2, and ever since then, he has been winning. Just winning. Errol's punches look like they have nothing on them. Errol's trying to keep it in a phone booth, and Bud is just landing over the top left hand from Bud. The ref warned Spence again for holding and low punches. Bud backing Errol up into the corner. The crowd feeling like something might happen. Errol comes in and holds. 25 seconds left in the 6th round. Counter left by Bud, and then he lets his hands go. 4, 5, 6 punches that land. Terence Crawford has fought beautifully. Beautifully. Over and over again, every round. Good distance. Letting his hand speed do the talking. Letting his jab do the talking. This is brilliant. Brilliant. After the 6th round, we have Terence Bud Crawford up 5-1. And technically, he's up 6-1 because of the 10-8 round in round 2. Guys, I thought it would be closer. I really did. Ying Yang says the ref is going to take a point away on YouTube. I completely agree. At some point, he's going to have to. Utterly shocking. Shocking. I'm being honest here. Did not predict this. Don't know what the F I'm watching. This is a blowout. This is an absolute blowout. Errol has no defense. He has no head movement. And Terence is the better, faster, more skilled, more patient, more disciplined, more approachable fighter in his attacks, that is. Like, I don't know what Errol's doing. He's just throwing and getting hit when he throws. Oh, Terence just landed 6 straight. Errol comes in with his head completely straight on the line. I don't know what he's doing, man. I don't know why he didn't take this fight years ago. Honestly. User 662 says a typical Bud fight. Derek Holmes says Rick's really good at this. I appreciate you. We're in the 7th round. 206 at the 7th. Errol is landing a few here. Bud goes into the ropes. Huge left by Errol, and then Bud lands a counter right, and Errol's down again. Oh, my goodness. Errol landed a huge left, and Bud took it, rolled with the follow-up from Errol, and landed a counter right. He is down for the 2nd time in this fight. Oh, Bud just landed a right hook. Errol's ducking down. He's hurt. He's hurt. He needs to land something big here. 7th round, 128. Bud, 3-punch combination. He's practically leaving his feet, throwing everything into these shots. 120 in the 7th round. Bud doesn't have to do anything. Errol cannot hurt him because his power has been taken away from getting outworked. And Bud, all he has to do is counter. It's actually super simple. It's simple. Errol's going to reach. He's going to keep his head on the line. And all Bud has to do is counter him. He has to throw a counter left or a counter right. His hand speed will take over, and he drops Errol again. 46 seconds left in round 7. If you're just tuning in, Terence Bud Crawford dropped Errol Spence in round 2. He dropped Errol Spence in round 7. Those are the only 2 times that Errol Spence has been dropped in his legendary Hall of Fame worthy career. He is getting beat. He won the first round, and after that, it's been all Bud. All Bud. Bud's landing the harder shots. Errol has landed, but he hasn't landed anything of substance. It's practically Errol's punches are like a Greg Maddux fastball at this point. He's throwing like 84. There's nothing on him. Bud walking down Errol. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Errol gets down again. Right hook from Bud. Errol gets dropped. He's hyping up the crowd. This is about to be over, y'all. It's over. About to be over. Errol is getting punished. He is getting bruised. The doctor is taking a very close look at him. I mean, incredibly close look. Guys, this is varsity against JV. I did not see this coming. And I'm objective. I didn't see this coming. This is shocking. It was a counter right uppercut from Bud. Errol goes down. He doesn't take his head off the line when he comes in, man. He's coming in straight. It's insane. It's insane. What is going on? Errol has no defense. Nay Sway says, we be seeing a masterclass. 1,000%. Yes. 1,000%. This is a masterclass in keeping the distance. It's a masterclass in working off the jab. And it's a masterclass in allowing your opponent to hurt themselves. Errol has nothing. He's coming in, and when he comes in, his head is either straight or, let's say, 24 degrees to the right. That's it. That's it. He's simple to hit. 10-7 round. In round 7. The broadcast rightfully notes that Errol is now on the back foot in round 8. And not his game. 157 left in round 8. This is a severe ass-kicking, y'all. Ass-kicking. Bud is walking down Errol. Really thought it would be the other way around. I mean, Errol's got to land something. Bud is just moving his hands all over the place to mess with Errol. This is awful. Too many jabs. Those jabs are stinging. They are hurtful. Don says no rematch at all. He's been dominated. He has been. 1,000% he's been dominated. Mimi on YouTube says stop the fight. Ruben says he winked last round. Who winked? We're in the 8th round. Errol's not throwing, and neither is Bud. Just patience from Bud. I like this. He doesn't have to take chances. He's winning. I love it. God, the jabs are just killing. Killing. Errol just got hurt again. His legs are wobbly. We're at round 8, and Errol needs to land something humongous. Oh, Bud just landed a huge right. Humongous right hand. Errol needs to counter the counter, I believe. I just don't think he has the speed to do it. Credit to Bud's defense. Whenever Errol's coming in and trying to throw something, he covers up. And Errol can't land any hooks. 0. Errol's getting desperate. He's going to get countered and dropped again. He just threw 3 of the same punches over and over. Dummy, dummy with the right hand, left hook. Dummy, dummy with the right hand, left hook. Dummy, dummy with the right hand, left hook. Y'all, this is horrible. I'm being honest. You guys come for honesty. I'm being honest. This is horrible. Like Bud's jabs are hurting Errol. It's odd. His eyes look terrible, does Errol Spence's. Open mouth breathing. His face is completely bruised. His nose likely nearly broken. His towel is completely red. Derek James saying, don't get lax. He is lax. He is lax. That's exactly what he is right now. Derek 2U4E says, wait until Canelo do it to Charlo. We'll stream that one too. Uriel says, wow, I can't believe it's this good for Crawford. 1000% agree. We are in round 9. And the reason Bud, what's the round in time, says Azim G? 2:36, round 9. Ying Yang says on YouTube that the nose is definitely broken. What I like about Bud, number one, he's not tired because he's not open mouth breathing. Secondly, he's just not throwing because he doesn't have to. He's not getting reckless. He's composed, and he's throwing the right shots. Steve Farhood through 8 has it 79-70. That's exactly how I would have it too. And he also gave Spence the first round, which is how we had it. 158 in round 9. Errol Spence has landed very few. Honestly, after his knockdown in round 2, he hasn't landed anything powerful. Nothing that we have seen in his past fights. Nothing that we saw against Ugas. Nothing that we saw against Kell. Nothing. Terence Bud Crawford has taken all the fuel out of Errol Spence's gas tank. We're at a minute 28 in round 9. Bud is walking Errol down, but he's not really throwing. He doesn't have to. He threw a jab that connected, threw 2 more, another jab that connected, and Errol's head snaps back. Errol is getting tagged so much that Bud's glove is bloody. Bud lands a body shot on Errol. Al Bernstein just says, I think this fight is about to be over, which I agree with. Errol's getting desperate. Desperate. Looping shot does not land. Bud lands a counter right. Jab again snaps Errol's head back. We're in round 9. 38 seconds left. Errol looping left doesn't land. A looping right for Terence does. Oh, he just landed a huge right on Errol. It's over. The referee stops it. We are done here, folks. Done. Done. Over. Over. OVAH. Over. Good stoppage. Good stoppage. We are done. Finished. Bye-bye. Terence Bud Crawford. Fan-bleepin-tastic. So impressed. So impressed. I am convinced. This dude is a monster. Nia Inoue is a monster. This dude is a monster. He's like Larry Johnson with the powers on the Monstars, and he's not giving it back. Dunzo. Great stoppage. Errol's eyes are practically closed. Bud goes over to Errol. They're talking to each other. They embrace one another. Much respect for one another. Brother, this has been over. This has been over. Errol says we made history. I'll tell you who made history. Bud. Bud. Smoke the Errol pack. Bud and his family are in the ring and they're all dancing. They're practically shimmying in the ring. How are you not convinced? How are you not entertained? So convinced. So good. So strong. Nobody can stop this dude right now. Nobody. Blues Fever on YouTube says this fight was over at round 4. Honestly, probably round 2 when Bud dropped him. Everything just stopped. Everything. GME on TikTok says Spence is a better boxer, but today he thought he was Mike Tyson. Not necessarily. I actually agree with this comment from Kello9 Baby, who says something's wrong with Spence. He doesn't seem number. I'm assuming you mean he doesn't seem right, which I agree with. Ever since he got dropped in round 2, it just changed. Everything changed. Guys, Errol got smoked. Smoked. Herb Delight says, thank you, Rick. I appreciate this. Please do it again. I will do it every freaking Saturday if y'all want me to. I love this sport. Bud is getting his hand wraps removed. Errol honestly looks like he's just in shock. He looks like he's in shock. And I agree. In the last round, Errol threw a looping left. He missed. Bud landed a looping right, which landed. And then he just wailed until the referee stepped in. He must have landed like 6 or 7 straight punches at that point. My God. Good stoppage by Harvey Doc. I completely agree with it. Completely agree with it. G Pack on YouTube asks, Spence lost? My guy, he didn't lose. He nearly got shut out if he didn't win round 1. He would have got shut out if he didn't win round 1. My God, guys. My God. This was a brutal loss. Career-defining win, career-defining loss. Here's what I say. Do not run this back. Let me ask you guys. I won't even give my opinion. Do you want to see this again? Do you really want to see this again? Do you want to see this again? I don't. I don't. Hell no. Tie to Resilient says I do. Please explain yourself. Bernard Simmons says no. Tony James says no. GME says no. Kevin Kelly gives the 85-25 with not really. 85-15. Math is not a strong gene. Please forgive me. Prod of 10 says no. Let's see. Haas Jacinto on YouTube is the definition of an absolute hater. Hater. I told you it was a pick'em, my guy. Don't be a dick. Dame says, I want to see it. It was an interesting fight. It was interesting. Interestingly one-sided. Interestingly, damn near a freaking blowout. Eaglefly asked, that bad of a one-side beating on YouTube? Yes, dude. It was crushing. He lost 1 round. He lost 1 round. This was impeccable. Here's Jim Gray with the interview. I don't want to get DMCA'd, so I'll give you the question and answer. Terence Crawford, your name is now in the history books. A thing that'll never be forgotten. How would you describe this totally dominant performance? Answer, man. Like I said before, I want to give an honor to God because without him, none of this would be possible. Man, I'm so blessed. I swear. Like I said before, I only dreamed of being world champion. I'm an overachiever. Nobody believed in me when I was coming up, but I made everybody a believer. And I want to thank Spence and his team. Like I told them, without them, none of this would be possible. Right here tonight. Answer. Uriel Campos, love your live. Thanks. Have a great night. You too, brother. Thanks for joining. This means everything. I took the belts from, because of who I took the belts from. They tried to blackball me. They kept me out. They kept me out. They talked bad about me. They said I wasn't good enough. I couldn't beat these top welterweights. And I just kept my head to the sky. And I kept praying to God that I would have the opportunity to show the world how great Terence Crawford really is. And tonight, I believe I showed how great I am. 1,000%. Crowd loves it. King Max says, who won? It was Bud by stoppage in 9. Errol Spence, he's a tremendous talent. Great jab. We were worried about the jab coming in because that's how he sets up all of his shots off the jab. Our main focus was the jab. Take away his best attribute. And then the rest is history. I was sitting next to Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson said Terence Crawford's jab is like a battering ram. This is a question from Jim Gray. What's your assessment on that? We practiced that in camp. We do a flick and jab. We knew it wasn't going to work with Errol because he's durable, he's strong. We had to practice on a strong, firm jab, the jab with him, and to stop him in his tracks. And he did it. They're going to go through the knockdowns, and they're going to get a recap. First one in round 2. It was a straight right hand from Bud. That was more of a flash knockdown, which I called. He didn't think I was coming back with the right hand. It was a flash knockdown. Round 7 knockdown. Errol comes in. Right hook from Bud. 2 rights. I caught him. He didn't see it. I caught him with the right hook to the ear. Knocked his equilibrium off. And I dropped him. 3rd knockdown in the 7th round. Right hook. Right hook. I caught him with a hook. I double hooked to the ear. And he went down. That's Bud's answer. Harvey Doc jumped in, says Jim Gray, to end the fight in the 9th. Clearly, you were just in total domination. Bud. Good stoppage. I was on the verge of coming back with hard shots. Everybody knows I'm a great finisher. The ref did what he's supposed to do to protect the fighter. He's given great answers. By the domination tonight, asked Jim Gray, you're so far apart. Is that something that you would welcome as in a rematch? Bud, of course the public would buy it. Look how many people came out and showed Errol Spence and me support. I think everybody. It's Errol's choice as the loser, says Jim Gray. Bud, like I said, if the fight happens again, I'm pretty sure everybody will come out and support us once again for the both of us. Jim Gray's last question. He said you've been waiting your entire life for this. You're now with the likes of some of the greatest champions of all time. To have your name said next to them is quite an achievement. Get the question out. How do you characterize that? Bud, man, I'm mixed with so many emotions I could cry right now. I just want to thank God. That's all I want to do. I want to give honor to him. R.I.P. to my brother Trent Washington. I wish he could be here with me. R.I.P. Danita Webb. We lost her fight with cancer. We won this fight tonight, and we did it together. Great answers. Great answers. Errol? All right, here we go. Errol. I'll tell you what they ask and his answers. What did Bud say to you at the end of the fight? Errol's answer. He said good fight. Jim Gray. Let's start from the 2nd round. It looked by our unofficial scoring that you won the 1st round. And then you got caught with that flash in the second round. Did that change the entire complexion of the fight, Errol? It just, he was the better man. He was using his jab, dictating the jab. My timing was off. He was catching me in between shots. That's right. Was Jim Gray, was the timing off because of the layoff or because he was better? Errol, he was better tonight. I make no excuses. He did his thing. He was the better man. Jim Gray, Errol, how did he manage to take away your jab? He said that was his game plan. How was he able to do it? Errol, he was throwing harder jabs. He was timing with his jabs. He had his timing down on point. Jim Gray, are you surprised with the speed and accuracy? Tell us about being on the receiving end of Crawford's jab. Errol, I wasn't surprised by any of it. It was everything I thought it was. My timing wasn't on point. Jim Gray, you now have the ability to determine a rematch. What will go through your thought process? And what do you think you could be able to do so the outcome could be different? Errol, we got to do it again. I'll be a lot better. It's going to be closer. Hell yeah, we got to do it again. Gray, you want to move up to 154? What weight will the rematch take place? Errol says hopefully at 54. Jim Gray, you're a champion, you're a class act. We look forward to seeing you in your return. Errol, we got to do this blank again. I mean, Bud doesn't have to do it again. That's the thing. There are your Q's and A's. All right, y'all, thoughts. Let's go. Let's go. Send them. Send them. We're reading them. I'm shouting out to everybody. Let's go. El Marie says, move up and wait for sure. 100%. Yeah, he's got to give himself some advantage. B. Jurgen leaves a trolly comment by saying Spence needs to fight Paulie Malignaggi. Carl Kindle on YouTube says Spence face disfigured. T. Turner says no rematch. Yank says great job relaying the interviews. Appreciate you. Uriel says, who do you think Bud will fight next? Boots. But like, not next. Whenever someone fights in a fight like this, where it's like massive, they don't go for the next big dog. They usually just take like a whatever. Hamel444 on YouTube says, where does Spence go from here? It's a good question. He wants the immediate rematch. He said he wants to fight at 54. Like, Terence can do it. I think Terence would honestly win at 54. You know, the more they weigh, the harder they fall. I think it would be the same exact thing, and I actually think Errol will be slower. But, Art of a Champion, he is a Hall of Famer. I would hope that it would be closer because of the weight, quite honestly. Wilmer Yanez 868 says he should fight Benavidez. Who? What? Who should fight Benavidez? Scooby says Bud just ate him up round by round, 100%. BK says no rematch. He beat him bad. I 1,000% agree. I 1,000% agree. I don't want to see this. Tony says no need. ... says Spence like an old man all of a sudden. KC says, I loved it. $1,000 for Crawford TKO. Feel you. Let's see. Joe Mama, thank you for the 5. Appreciate you. Thank you for the 5 on YouTube. Ant says, go take Charlo belts. You know, here's the thing, man. Ying Yang on YouTube says, Rick, thank you for doing this. Anytime, man. Anytime. I appreciate you guys being here and just taking in what is, I believe, to be one of the best sports that has ever been created. They're playing the sounds. Hang on. I'll relay in a second. Derek James says, if you want to do a rematch, we'll do a rematch. And Errol says, hell yeah. Bud went to Errol after the fight and said, you're a hell of a fighter. I appreciate the opportunity. Organized Confusion says, fixed again. How? How? How are we always jumping to this, guys? Can we please stop this? For real. For real. We had a great night of boxing. The better man won convincingly. And we're just gonna go to this like BS line of the sport being. Come on, man. Can we be done with this? It's nonsense. You guys called the Garcia tank fight a fix when he got hit with a perfect body shot. I'm so sick of this, man. There are some bad decisions. You know what that is? Human error. Stop this. Stop this. Big Al 357 says Spence's fight game was not good. I 1000% agree. Scooby says it got disturbing at one point, bro. I completely agree with you. Jeffrey says Crawford put Spence into retirement. No, he did. He's not retiring. He'll be different. That's the thing, guys. These sort of fights, when you get beat that bad, it takes a lot out of you, like a real lot. Bolt, thank you for the $4.99 on YouTube. Crawford took those belts like Spence was just borrowing them. For real. For real. It was one-sided. GME says, I've never seen Spence like that. Me neither. All right, so here's the question for everybody. Who do you want to see Bud fight next? Who do you got? Who does Bud fight next? Y'all were telling me Dustin Poirier just got KO'd. Honestly, not surprised. Gaethje's the bigger guy. I'm not surprised. We're talking boxing, though. No disrespect. All right, let's read these comments. Ken Johnson says tank. No. The most he is 135, and they're about to go to 154. No. Guys, you got to stop saying Tank Davis. I don't know if you're trolling or you're being serious. Stop saying Tank Davis. Kenny Barnes says Canelo. John says Canelo. Guys, I think Canelo can hurt Bud. That's too much. Too much. User 620 says Charlo. Gojo says Boots. Bob says move up, catch weight for a rematch. Bernard Simmons 749 says Manny Pacquiao. Come on, man. You got to be kidding me. For real? Manny Pacquiao? You kidding me? Bro, he's like 45. Sky Touch, appreciate the super chat. Thank you. Thank you on YouTube, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yay, yay. Says Boots. I think that's the correct answer right there. That's what I think it is. Electric Soul says Canelo. Ant says Charlo. Kenny Barnes says Canelo. Who does Bud fight next, y'all? The Nana Addy Show says, just woke up. Who won, guys? It was Bud Crawford by TKO in round 9. And he was winning pretty much every round except for the first. Dropped Errol in 2. Dropped for the first time in his career. Dropped Errol twice in round 7. And then ended it in round 9. Damn, the telecast is over. Crazy. Crazy. Insane stuff. Freddie says Canelo versus Bud or Boots. Why is Canelo too much? Can you explain? Yeah, he's a harder puncher. He also, I think you guys got to understand, It was an aging Kovalev, but he beat Kovalev at 75. He lost to Dmitry Bivol, who's fantastic at 75. He wants to fight at like what I think to be 68, 60. I think that's the right call. If Bud were to go up, I don't know what limit his weight would hit. Do I think he could walk around at like 155? Yeah. Canelo would dictate everything. He would dictate ring size. He would dictate the size of the gloves. He would dictate what weight it should be at. Canelo's too big, guys. That's like saying Bud against Tank. Too big. Someone asked, what's the next fight I'm covering? Arislandi Lara, Danny Garcia, which is going to be so freaking good. And I also thought Arislandi Lara beat Canelo. Money Mike 420 says Rolly. Come on, man. Come on, man. Dennis Watson says Tank might be small. He'll beat Bud all night. No, he won't. 1000% no. And the broadcast is over. I've had audio in my ear all night. I gotta play just to hear something. And honestly, I think like Tribe is okay. Goku. Goku. Wait a minute. Pound for pound. Thank you for the 5, man. Appreciate you. No rematch, he comments. Too much power for him. Just look at what only the jab was doing. Canelo would be a life lesson for Bud, though. I agree with that. Canelo's got too much pop, y'all. Yes, I understand he looked bad in the Triple G third fight. I actually thought he lost the first one and drew the second one. Third one he won. Canelo's seasoned, man. At this point, he's super, super seasoned. The Bivol fight was ambitious. Honestly, can't knock him. I give him credit. I think he wants to be great. And we have to not knock down these warriors, but praise them for taking chances, especially when everybody's like, oh, they're just protecting the fighter. Oh, he's just protecting his record. Give props to Canelo for taking on Bivol. And if you don't know who Dmitry Bivol is, you definitely knew after he fought Canelo. The last fight, though, was concerning for me because he fought John Ryder. That fight was also at home in New Mexico, or I'm sorry, in Mexico. So maybe he was a little nervous. A lot of guys sometimes don't fight as well as they could when they fight in front of a home audience. But what I will say is he looked bad in the Ryder fight. He looked bad in the Triple G fight. He looked bad in the Bivol fight. Not necessarily on the up and up here. It was bad. But I give him credit for taking chances. Canelo's too big. Guys, we can talk about it. I'm fine talking about it. I'm just telling you, you're not going to sway me. And if you've watched the sport and understand how big Canelo is, like they're fighting at 47, Bud would probably have to go up to like 60. And if you're thinking, oh, that's only 13 pounds. No, it's not just 13 pounds. He's already undersized at 47. Errol was already the bigger guy. He pummeled Errol. I don't think he wants to take those shots from Canelo. Celtics fan says no one can beat Crawford. I'm interested to see the Boots fight. Honestly, I think that's the only fight to make. Tell me who you want to see at 47 or 54. Tell me. I want to know. I mean, let's Screw it. Let's go through the rankings. Let's go through the rankings. Because I think, aside from Boots, the rest of the division is an absolute cakewalk for Bud. Cakewalk. I'm going to go in order. Bud, Errol, Virgil Ortiz, which I actually think would be a good fight, but I think Bud would win. Boots, can't even pick it. Then there's like, oh, Danny Onis. I'm not really. Yeah, the welterweights have kind of gone down. So let's go to 54. Tim Tszyu can absolutely pop. He also got dropped by Terrell Gaucher. So I think Bud could drop him. Brian Mendoza, scary fighter. The Tower of Inferno, Sebastian Fondura, coming off that if you guys haven't seen it, devastating knockout loss to Mendoza. I mean, there's Erickson Lubin, but like, really interested. Tony Harrison, he would wreck. At 54, it's basically just Tim Tszyu, Fondura, and Mendoza. That's about it. If we wanted to just have fun and go to 160, which he won't, these would have to be catch weights. There's like Arislandi Lara, Liam Smith. Guys, I think the only fight to make, Boots and Virgil Ortiz. I think that's it. That's it. That's all I got. You could tell me who you got. On YouTube, Jab says Bud and Charlo. Who you got? Which one? Jim Winfield says Boo Boo. I actually reached out to Boo Boo. Really, I want to get in touch with him because I want to get his thoughts on like where his head is at. Let's see. Erwin Jose says Boots doesn't stand a chance. Come on, man. Let's not do this. Let's not be a prisoner of the moment here. Please. Please. Boots stands a chance. I think Boots is the only fight to make. Did someone really comment Keith Thurman? Please. Drew says Boots doesn't stand a chance. Mike says I got Boots. R2 Salcido says Bud beats anyone in the next 5 years. Guys, I think you... Let me just... Look. They say styles make fights, right? That's what they say. The style of this fight was Errol Spence coming in with no head movement, coming in straight away, keeping his head on the line, trying to throw jabs to the body and hooks to the body, and just getting caught. This was a walk in the park for Terence Crawford. Boots will be different. I actually think, this is just my opinion, we now learn that there was a reason why Errol Spence put this fight off for 5 years. I truly believe that. This was nothing. After the first round, it was over. Over. Was I entertained? Yeah. Were you all entertained? Yeah. But this was easy. Is Boots easy? Is Boots just going to walk in with his head straight away? Or tilting a few degrees to the right when he's trying to throw body shots? Boots is a way slicker fighter than this. Randy says if Bud, on YouTube doesn't fight Boots next, it's a duck. No. I told y'all about 10, 15 minutes ago how this goes, okay? What happens is, after a humongous fight like this, They don't fight a top guy next. It just doesn't happen in the sport. It's very, very rare. So what he'll probably do, if I'm looking at this, fine tune his skills against another 147er. Maybe like a Mario Barrios or something. And then he'll take on Boots. Or he'll move up. I don't know. I want to say it was about 10 months ago when Bud was on the Porter Way podcast with Sean Porter. Great dude, by the way. I've interviewed him a few times. Great guy. And he said, I have dreams of going up to 54 and knocking out Charlo. It could happen. Just not right now. Off topic. But Matronly says on YouTube, Devin beat Shakur. No. Hell to the no. I would bet whatever you like. Nobody's beating Shakur right now, bro. Nobody. And I actually think we learned a lot about Devin, don't you think? Everybody wants a piece of Devin after the Loma loss. After Loma's loss. It was close. That fight was close. Don't, let's not do this. Let's not do this. Cuts by Mills says Tank will beat Shakur. I don't think so. I don't think anybody beats Shakur right now. Arsene Wenger says Shakur is that guy. Ken Stew reacted to Sherwin's comment. Let's find Sherwin's comment. Sherwin says Charlo was punked. And Ken says, Sherwin, I totally agree. Charlo wants nothing to do with Crawford. I don't know where he stands on this, guys. Mr. October says on YouTube, Pillow Hands Haney. I mean, that's rough, don't you think? He was throwing big shots in that fight. And friend of the show, Britton Harden, was at that fight. And he told me that Devin was going for the knockout and that he hurt Loma in that fight. And Britt told me he was sitting close. That's the most intelligent boxing mind I've ever seen. Devin can hit hard, just not hard enough. Humble Hustler 83 says Crawford will beat Charlo. And we are getting ahead, aren't we? On YouTube, AA Padre says Spence didn't even land his body shots. Let's talk about why he didn't land his body shots. We all thought that was going to be the game plan. You know who else knew that? Bomac and Terence Bud Crawford. Errol came in trying to throw those, and what did I say? I predicted this for the first knockdown. In round one, Errol's got to be careful leaning in. Bud's at a good range. Errol's reaching, leaving himself open, leaving him susceptible. And he got punished for it. Ferrari Killa. Bro, you whack or what? Spence got dropped by a jab. Bro, I'm just reacting to comments. What's with the negative energy? Mr. Soda says he got heavily punished early when he tried. And Matter Only says, you think Crawford should retire? Errol is the final boss for Crawford. Hell no. Are you kidding? What would you say he made for this fight? Like 20 million? 18 million? The fight against Boots is going to be massive. Massive. That's what's next. I know everybody's like, oh, what about Canelo? Oh, what about Charlo? It's Boots. It's Boots. The weight also looks great on Bud. Looks great. Gabriel says Canelo. Arkansas 5 Prince says rematch. Please no. Please no. Ferrari on YouTube says Errol's overrated. He's not overrated. He just met his match. Jesus says at 154, a different fight. I actually think it's the same. And keep your channel 100, G. What do you mean? Bozfin says Boots is an amateur versus Bud, bro. So let me ask you a question. If Boots is an amateur, what would you call Errol? Because I think Boots puts on a better performance than Errol. Do you disagree with that? Bonsens on TikTok says Crawford killed that boy. Ken Stew's talking nonsense, but I love it. Mayweather versus Crawford. Hilarious. Oh, God. We're clearly getting into the late hours. User 3800 says, who would pay for Broner versus Spence? Nobody. Nobody. Killa on YouTube says, I'd rather watch Butterbean than see a rematch. On TikTok, Dot says, who do you think Errol fights next? So, if we're keeping it a buck, he's going to push for the rematch at 154. Do I think he should rematch Bud? No, I don't. Who do I think he fights next? I don't know, man. Like, everybody that I'm looking at, I'm like, ugh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. That's actually a great question. Let's open it up to everybody. Like, all I see right now is a man who's broken and will probably be changed. So I think he needs to be careful with who he picks next. I don't want to see a rematch, but he's going to push forward at 54. Who does Errol fight next, y'all? I'm asking YouTube and TikTok. Who do you got? Does he fight Virgil? No. Does he fight Boots? No. Does he fight Stanionis? Probably not. Does he fight Avanyesin? Maybe. Does he fight Mario Barrios? Maybe. Does he fight Romain Villa, who just got the brakes beaten off of him by Boots? Maybe. Or does he move up to 54 and just take on anybody, like a Tony Harrison? God, I love these comments. Sober Anna's fam says Bud should go undisputed at 54. We're getting so ahead of ourselves. Love it. SH3 Love King says Barrios versus Bud. Yeah, again, like, he's not going to fight Boots. He's not going to fight Virgil right away, so sure. It's basically just staying busy at this point. You feel me? Frank Guerrero says Errol versus Boots. Please, no, no. Mr. Greg Larry says, you're Dennis Ugas. Do you want Errol to rematch Ugas? Is that what I'm hearing? Let's just, like, let's be real about the situation here. Like, Errol is going to fight next on Showtime. Probably they'll push him for another pay-per-view. And he needs to make a goddamn statement in his next fight, okay? He needs to look good in his next fight. He could fight Tony Harrison at 54 if he wants to move up. He could fight Avanescen. He could fight Mario Barrios. You know what we're going to be looking for? All right, what do you got? What do you got? You just had you had a ref stoppage in what was supposed to be the fight of the year, and you almost got shut out. His next fight, all eyes are going to be on him because we need to see how a champion responds. With that being said, what I would say for Errol is pick somebody that's a tune-up. Don't go back into deep waters. Don't. I'm begging y'all, don't. I'm serious. We're looking at it. We're seeing what does he have? Does he have anything left in the tank, or did Bud just take it completely out of him? Killa on YouTube, I didn't say anything different. I said he almost got shut out in the fight. Hey, Suave6 says Errol doesn't tune up. All right, tell me who he's got. Let's not do this guy. R2 Salcido with the Sonics logo, too. Brother, you can't have a Sonics logo and leave this comment. Pac-Man versus Crawford. I might be stuff, man. I'm obsessed with this comment. Guys, stop recommending Manny Pacquiao. I'm begging y'all. I'm begging y'all. Please. Please. Jay says Errol versus Loma. No. Loma's max 140, y'all. Nothing more. Like let's not even entertain that. MT Broadneck says, "Man, Crawford is the Jordan of the ring." Eric with a K. This loss to Errol will make him become a better boxer. At this point, for real? 33 years old. Gonna get better from this? Aside from the first round, he got shut out. And there was a 10-7 round. He looked awful. Awful. I suppose you can learn from your losses. I do subscribe to that notion. However, in this way, does he really get better? I think at this point he moves up. He can hardly make the weight. I don't see it. Terence versus Thanos next. Robert Stokes says Boots should get the fight with Bud, but money will be made in between. Again, do I think that he fights Boots immediately? No. Do I think that they fight at some point? Yes. Yes. Larry Jr. on YouTube says Spence's face looked like a pizza. Duke, thank you for being a member on YouTube, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. I got to be honest, didn't even know we had those. So if you are the first one, God bless you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Who just left that? Matter Only says, I feel like Boots versus Errol is disrespectful. I agree with that. Tulio Sports Inc. on YouTube says Errol versus Teofimo. Guys, he can't make the weight. He can't make the weight. Teofimo would have to move up, and it truly feels like Errol wants to move up to 54. Also, like for Teofimo, I don't know if that's the biggest fight. I think if he were to be smart, he would strike while the iron's hot. And it's so interesting. This is why we love this sport. This is exactly the reason why we like this sport. Is because Errol was unblemished. We knew he could get hit. We knew he could get hurt. We knew that guys could have these moments against him. But now, the fight game is the fight game. As Bill Parcells would say, you are as good as your record says you are. Errol is great. But in this sport specifically, it is a what have you done for me lately industry. And just like that, the consensus is like Errol is damaged goods. It's so interesting to me. It's so interesting to me. It really is. It's almost shocking to me. Shocking. Where does Errol go from here? Tell me. Tell me, TikTok. Tell me, YouTube. Tell me. Carlos Osorio says Teofimo versus Haney will happen after Prograis. He's got to get past Regis, brother. I might be interviewing Regis. I'll let you guys know if we're able to book him. I reached out to his people. We're talking. Canelo or Benavidez? Benavidez, 1,000%. And my buddy, Britton Harden, my guy, thinks I'm nuts. Benavidez is a monster right now, y'all. Anybody who really like thinks that they can go up against David Benavidez is smoking on the finest packs that the States has to offer. You should be avoiding David Benavidez. And guess what? That's exactly what Canelo Alvarez is doing. He knows. You know what you do if you're Canelo with David Benavidez? Wait. You wait. You wait for him to hopefully get hurt in a fight, get something taken out of him, and then you say, oh, yeah, I'll fight him. As of right now, David Benavidez is a brand new, fresh Ferrari, and you're waiting for it to break down over the years. Cristiano887 asks a really good question. How do you come back from a defeat like this? I'm being honest here. This is not a cop-out. I've seen my fair share of fights. I've covered the sport. You lose something after a loss like that. Not just a loss, an ass kicking like that. Something gets taken out of you. Like, I think Errol will be fine. I think he'll make plenty of money after this. It just happens, man. Especially in this day and age. It's not like Father Time with Vince Carter in the NBA. You just lose a step. You just do. Not everybody can be a George Foreman and fight into their 40s, or Bernard Hopkins and be a world champion at 45. I don't think you do. I think you lose a step and you adjust and you take more hits along the way because you're dedicated to your craft. Maybe go snag a belt at 54 where he is supremely more talented than somebody else, but at 33, I'd probably give him another 3-4 years. But it's also about, like, there's the politics of the sport. So, like, it depends who he picks. It depends how they manage him. You know what I mean? But Cristiano, that's a really good question. Really good question. PFL Crew says Roy Jones was no good after being knocked out. Bro, that fight with Danny Green when Roy was like 38 or 42 was awful. That's how I knew dude was washed. Dude was washed. MJB set 93 on YouTube says, bro, Donaire, I'm sorry, bro, Crawford is just that good. I agree. He is just that good. He's phenomenal. Adrian Mejia says Mendoza or Triple G for Crawford. Neither. He should stay at 54. I'm telling you guys, the biggest fight is Boots. If he beats Boots, I'm already sold. But like, if he beats Boots, my God, he's the pound for pound best. Boots is this hype train, which by the way, he can get hit too. You know who hardly got hit? Terence Bud Crawford. His defense was ecstatic. On YouTube, y'all are suggesting Shakur versus Errol for real? For real? Come on, let's not do that. Come on, let's not do that. Prime Floyd or current Crawford? Prime Floyd. What the? Are you for real? Heartless Angel fell with some letters. Bro, you can't be serious. Floyd's one of the greatest fighters that ever lived, and y'all are just like prisoners of the moment with Terence. We can't do that tonight either. Silvio Bonner says Spence did a unhealthy, cut and a conversation. I completely agree with that. However, he's been fighting at 54. We knew that he had trouble making the weight. We knew it. He still would have got beat at 54. He might just last a little longer because of the weight. I think it's the same. Armani Rose says Boots smokes Ennis. Damn. I'm telling you guys, that's the fight to make. It's the fight to make. Nick P on YouTube says, I need that Bud versus Charlo. 3-weight division undisputed. My God, that would be huge. Just not yet. It could. Bisu J1 on YouTube says, preach. I'm trying. Kenny Barnes says, but you don't think he's good enough to stand with Canelo. No, guys, it's too much weight. Too much weight. Way too much. You got to understand, man. Bud was fighting at 35. He was fighting at 40. And he took on, and be honest about this, a very good Hall of Fame worthy, but on this dais, inferior opponent who had no head movement and zero defense that he knew he could beat because he saw something in Errol's fights, which was he's hittable and he's susceptible to counterpunchers. That's what he said in his mind and through his camp's mind. So he took on Errol, who could hardly make the weight. Okay. And with Errol, seasoned, been hit many times. It was the perfect opponent at the perfect time. Knowing that he fought at 35, 30, 35, 40, and he's small at 47, I don't see him competing with Canelo at 54. I also don't think Canelo fights him at 54. Out of anything, they'd have to go to a catchweight at 60. Would the speed translate when he's really a 35er? I don't think so. I think he'd look good, but I think he would get tired and lose because of the weight. Practically like wearing 3 winter jackets. I don't see it. Omar Jamal says Spence just not good. Guys, I get it. He was bad. Bad. Scott says Spence was high. Why? Why? Shield says I don't care. Poirier just got Dustin Poirier. Don't be mad. All good. Unless you're like in his camp or his like sibling. Theo Smith says Thurman and Bud. Why? Why? Why would you want to see Thurman and Bud? Thurman's like inactive at this point. He peaked in 2017. On YouTube, you look like my English teacher in high school. Brother, I couldn't teach class. Paid me. Me being a teacher is hilarious. About like, I could teach you about Raymond condones. I can't believe how bad Spence looked. Bro, awful. 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 Ferrari, you're overstepped. Salcido says Bud beats Floyd, but Floyd would never fight him. Dude, you're a prisoner of the. Floyd's one of the greatest fighters. You think it was his weight cutting? Yeah, he could hardly make. Yeah, it was also just bad. Bud's hand speed, his jab, his perfect blueprint of keeping a distance so Errol reaching and reaching and reaching. He kept him at a perfect position to counter. He countered the shit out of him. I know I'm not supposed to swear, but he did. I appreciate everybody sharing the live. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. The relief doc says Boots and Bud. That's the fight, man. Fight. Jay. Jay. Errol was going back most of the fight. He actually wasn't. He was actually going forward. And that was part of the game plan, is to allow Errol to come forward, be comfortable, and count. I'm telling you guys, it was the footwork of Bud, keeping Errol at a distance so he had to keep reaching over and over and countering. And the jab also won Bud the fight. His jab was it? Jeremiah says calculated and I agree. Very calculated, very precise, very patient. It was wonderful. Appreciate everybody being in here. I hope you enjoyed a great night of boxing. It was fantastic. Papa Doc as a gangster. Strong for Spence. Yeah, agreed. Kevin says Crawford might be the greatest to do. Good though. He's really good. He was really good. Run, Rafa, run on YouTube says Errol doesn't want none. Doesn't want none of what? Amir Cunningham with brutal honesty in his comment on YouTube. I'd rather go to my daughter's recital than watch a rematch. Oh, I'll be damned. Papa Doc says no rematch. I agree. Mar Ernest says who's better? To what question are we asking better? Amir, that was a ruthless comment. Let's see. 4A's Freak 2021 says he was moving Spence back with the body. He actually wasn't. He was countering beautifully. Drew says Bud was Errol's pallbearer tonight. Brutal. Acting like Alex says, who else do we have in boxing, really? What do you mean? What do you mean, who do we have? Like, there's plenty of names in every division. What do you mean? Grace Abdul Rahim says, wow, his skills. I have a question for you. Is that like your real name, or are you going after like the NBA Jam, Vancouver Grizzlies, Atlanta Hawks, Sharif Abdul Rahim? Shout out to him. TYY says, it felt like they couldn't come up with another game plan for Bud's jab. I completely agree with you. Yes, they had no answer. That jab was powerful, bro. You guys remember the Vladimir Klitschko David fight? This is a long time ago. This is probably like 2010. And Klitschko dropped David Hay with a jab in a heavyweight fight. That's what this reminded me of. The power of that jab was just pointedly excellent. Spence has, bro, they've been together since Spence was like 16. Never gonna happen. Grace says Bud's the truth. I agree. That's your name? Shout out to you, brother. Dot says UFC's better, and to that we can only agree. Matter only on YouTube says Devin versus Shakur is more of a 50-50 fight. No, it might be close, but Shakur wins. Tanner Booker said he called it. I've been saying Crawford was going to beat the brakes off him. Shout out to you. If you called it, amen. Shout out you. Dot says if Spence didn't get cornered, he would have won the fight. No, I disagree. I disagree. They could have fought anywhere in the ring, and Bud would have won off his counterpunching. Him sticking a right hook over Errol's left hook body shot was opening up Errol. He had no answer. No answer. DeMar says, you said Crawford's not the best. Who's better? No. I was saying if he moves up. I don't think moving up is going to benefit him. I think it's going to hurt him. Small guy. I think if he moves up, it hurts. It hurts him. I mean, look, would I love to see go up against Carlo that he's coming for? Maybe he has a vision. Maybe he sees something. But yeah, like I'm interested to see it. I just don't think he. SFDKO on YouTube says we need to stream again, dude. 1000%. I'm ready. Omar Jamal says, "Did you pick Spence and why?" I had it as a pick 'em, but I leaned. I thought his body work would be. Couldn't get inside. Couldn't get inside. Bud beat him at all three levels. It was so convincing. It was so convincing that I don't want to. That's how convincing. Like mad convincing. Awfully convincing. Dot says, to be honest, Bud is like short as. Yeah, he is. Chad says Bud countered him to death. A true draft. Yeah, yeah, guys. It's again. I find this to be fairly simple. Bud's footwork kept him at a perfect distance where Errol was reaching. If Errol were to not reach, come in with his hands up and make Bud throw first, I'd be interested to see how it goes. Bud even said it in the post-fight interview. Throwing over Errol's jab was key. He did it beautifully. His counterpunching was phenomenal. He didn't even land. Like, think about this. Can you remember any body shots that Bud landed? No. That's how open Errol left himself. Bud didn't have to throw to the body. Errol's hands were down, or when he was coming in, he kept his head right on the line. Boom. It was beautiful boxing by Bud, but it was also like Bud is that good and that quick, and his hand speed is off the charts in comparison to Errol that he made it look amateur. Made it look easy. I give him all the credit in the world. All the credit in the world. Deserves it. Amir on YouTube says that's the first time I've ever seen a 10-7 round. Oh, there's been plenty of 10. Guys get dropped multiple. Fine. Yeah, Chad, you hit the nail on the head on. Anthony says Spence was beat at the face-off. He actually wasn't. Broadcast was right that won the first round. That's exactly how I was calling. Oh my. Drew says Errol should have walked out with Ariana Grande after that performance. Hilarious. Pace King on YouTube says, who won, y'all? Bud Crawford. Referee stoppage. And Top Rank Soldier says they're running it back, though. I honestly. Errol's going to advocate for it at 54. And do I want to see it? No. Perk Taker says Spence had zero defense. I think he underestimated Crawford's power. That's an A-plus comment. I agree with that. Zero defense. Horrible defense. Horrible. Where was it? I think it was at round 4 where I was calling on the TikTok stream. Where is his defense? Getting hit too much. He needs to adjust. And then I believe I said in round 6, I'm like, look, we're almost halfway home. Errol does come late as well. Bud comes on late stronger. Don't rule out Errol. And he got smoked. Run Rafa Run on YouTube says Spence even got backed into the ropes too. Crazy. Crazy. Eric with an A says Spence looked like he was in slow motion. Because he was. That's how much. Matter Only says look at Showtime's thumbnail of Errol. Do I want to? Do I want to? Showtime, you. Oh man, that's bad. Bad. Oh. Oh, that's bad. Matter Only, yeah. Bad. Not disrespectful though. I mean, that's what happened. That it was a knockout. But yeah, I mean, his face is just like red as hell in the thumbnail. It has like 20,000 views in 38 minutes. It's gonna be a massive number. Papa Doc says, "Does Boots want that smoke?" 1,000%. I just don't know how I feel about Boots because Boots gets hit too. Like the Romain Villa fight, he didn't get hit a ton. He got, but like I think he'll beat Errol, but against Bud, pick him, pick him. Drew says Errol's next fight with his medical bill. That's rough. John Hill says Spence has never been a fast fighter. I agree. That's what hurt him. And again, not to sound like a broken record, not taking his head off the line. Kept it there. Wasn't even a movable target. He was a hittable target. The reaching and just not adjusting. When he was reaching, he just left himself right there. Shocking. Bradley says Spence has no power. Could have knocked out Mikey. Let Mikey. I was watching that fight. He let him finish. Wanted to knock him out. He would have knocked him out. He did the gentlemanly. He took his foot off the gas in 10. He didn't go for it. Mikey also like it. I felt like he didn't take that fight super. I know it sounds odd, but like on like fight night. He says, "What's next for Errol?" I don't know. I think he goes up to 54 and fights like a Tony Harrison fighting. I don't think he should stay at 47, and I don't think we should. I truly don't believe. I think I'm, and I know that's not a popular opinion. I think I've seen enough. Let's see. Mr. Greg Larry on YouTube says, "How do you think Connor Ben would do against Bud?" I think he'd get knocked the hell out. I think. Todd Peck says, "Bud now." Todd, I appreciate you sticking around. Who wants Bud now? Boots. Devontae official says Crawford versus Spence at 1. I don't. I think it's a. Devontae also follows up. He looked drained. I agree. He did look drained, but I don't think he beats this guy, man. R2 Salcido with the Sonics look. Errol versus overrated Carlos. How are they overrated? Stop this. Slime says, "Who is Tank fighting next?" Probably Devin. Probably Loma. No, he fought Ryan, so I think to stay busy, take on a. I mean, the fights to make with Tank are Loma, Devin, and Shakur. To answer your questions, I don't know who he goes up against. Not necessarily up. Not how the fight game. Ryan T. Crawford whoop. Real Deal Yarborough says Haney on what point? Holler at me. On what point? Which one? Mr. Greg Larry on YouTube says Thurman might want Spence now. Errol would knock the brakes off Keith Thurman. If Manny Pacquiao can land like a leaping, soft left hand on Keith and knocks him down, I don't think he wants. I think that's a mistake. Devontae says, y'all got to put some respect on it. Oh, trust me, there's a ton of respect on it. Just wasn't the better man. On the Eastside Cruz fight, Eastside Cruz. Oh my god. Abelardo asks Jaime Munguia versus Terence Crawford. Much of a win. And Jaime Munguia arguably lost to Derevianchenko. I do not have faith in him. Nor should you. Honestly, every fight I've seen from him been like, yeah, he's like the golden boy hype machine, but I don't have stock in it. Aaron Pla sending a rose. I honestly have no idea. Appreciate the love. Why not? Um. Well, all for the weight. I think Bud would wreck him, and I like Tiafimo a lot. I also don't know like what he wants. He said he would go up to one. A small 100. I think the fight for him could potentially be Jack Catterall. And then after Jack, who knows? I think he could beat Jack though. Once you beat Jack, take out the top contender and move up. How old is T? So young. Ridiculous. Look, Tiafimo is fantastic. We all agree. Tiafimo is super fast, talented. If he's not focused, he can have another stand or mark. Literally all up to him. I thought he lost. Did you watch Port? Kirko Jr. says Spence was catching punches with his face like Big Baby Anderson. I knew it was over at that point. Man, the Big Baby Anderson Charles Martin fight, which I covered here on TikTok, was really good. I'm not putting stock in Big. I have concerns, and I think there was a tell there when during the build up to the fight, he like admitted that his heart wasn't in it. Which I thought was pretty bad. Because if you say that, then it shows that you're like a lot of guys are. but also they want to be great. I don't think he wants to be great. He also gave a comment that he said he like wants to get out when he gets his money in 3 years. Like, fine, do you? That's cool. But if you say that, I just think somebody who, I know this is going to sound like a cliche, but somebody who wants can hurt him. And Charles Martin did hurt him more. I don't have faith. Sadly. I do like him. I just don't. The hell? Somebody inviting me? Steve says, Spence was a no-show tonight. I agree. That's what I've been saying. I agree. All right, if you guys want to hop in the live, I'm going to grab my... I have to disconnect the microphone. Hottest take. Have some fun. Live. Hottest take. Hit me with a hot take, y'all. Let's go. If you want to hop in the live, hop in the live. On YouTube, Matter Only says, you think Lopez the weakest out of the 4 kings? Name the other. Let me see who you got. Let me see who you got. Let's go, y'all. If you want to give your opinion, let's go. Hop in the live. I'll put you on. Can't hear? What are you talking about? What is going on YouTube over there? Let's go. Who wants to give their opinion on the live? Let's go. Request to join. Let's go. User 436 says most one-sided big fight in a long time. I agree. Marcus, what's good? What's good? What's good? If you let's hear them. Give me your hot takes. You're out there. Join the live. Request to join. I'll put you on. I know how to do it now. Let's go. Was Catterall robbed? Kind of. Yeah. Let's see. Matter Only on YouTube says Tank, Devin, Shakur, Tiafimo. If I rank them, I would go Shakur, Tank, Devin, Tiafimo. That's what I would do. Germ is just trolling, saying Spence got robbed. Who wants to join the live? Give me your hot take. Let's go. Let's go. We got 600 people, and somebody's going to want to give their opinion on the live. Let's go. Mr. G. Larry on YouTube says, I wouldn't mind seeing Crawford go to big of a jump, man. Too big of a jump. Anthony Phelps says, wait, I just lost it. Hang on. Anthony Phelps says Spence should retire? What? Eastside Marlowe says they stopped it too early. No, they did not. No, no. 1,000% no. That was the right stop. Getting his ass beat. What more punishment did you want him to take? You live to fight another day. You don't let that continue. This was one-way traffic after the first round. Guys, if you want to give your opinion on here, let's go. I'm hosting you. Request to join and hop in here. Matter only on YouTube says Loma versus Spence style-wise on on YouTube. I mean, there's just too much weight. There's way too much weight. Bud is different, dog, says Crush Groove. I agree with that. He is different. He's way different. Mr. Larry says Spence was totally outclassed. Performance was lower level than I thought he had. He fought a superior fighter tonight. Superior. Bud kept his distance, came over the top with his southpaw stance. By the way, beautifully keeping his distance, and then also dictating the entire fight with his jab. All of it. Crawford is a beast, says Gregory Baldwin. Luca NGG says Spence game plan was terrible. I agree. I agree. Awful. I don't know what they were trying to do. Larry on YouTube says Spence was totally outclassed. His performance was lower level than I thought he... Oh, I'm sorry. I already read. Ade Olu on YouTube. Bud is a natural. The way he was able to change the power of his jab is one training camp is crazy. In one training camp is crazy. Also, he is strong from the leg up as an ex-wrestler. Everybody that's joining the live, you got no opinions? You don't want to hop in here and show your beautiful faces and give your opinions? Dirty Duck says that was embarrassing for... Yeah, it was. Bad. I agree. It's awful. But there were a few problems, right? Number one is he really does want to go to 54. Everyone sees it. He even said in the post-fight interview that what he wants to do is have the rematch at 50. Fine. I still think he's going to. Secondly, everybody's saying he's weight trained. He's weight trained. At 33, he's probably more weight trained than ever, and it's only going to get worse. With your body getting older and you cutting weight, it gets harder and harder. And there are more health concerns that come with weight cutting. If you want to know about that, go YouTube or Google Real Sport on weight cutting and fighting. It's brutal. So him cutting the weight at that age is already bad. That's why he wants to go up to 50. If he does, I don't think Bud falls for it. I think Bud stays at 47, takes on a lower level. Showtime T asks, Rick, how do I join? West. If I could do it. I can't. This is like TikTok for dummies. I don't think Bud... you should be able to request, brother. I don't know how to do it, but figure it out. Google it. I think if they move to 54, it's probably the same. And the bigger tree falls harder. I think Bud hurts him still. This was a masterclass, guys. I think Errol moves up. He goes and fights, like a top 10 54, beats him, And then let's see what he could work his way up to potentially fighting a Charlo or two. I think he would get smoked by Tim. He has no head movement like this. Getting crushed. Crushed. Like, who do you want to see him fight? Like a Mendoza? I don't. Billy Blanks on YouTube says great fight. For one side. Not that great. Cameron Miller says Spence has got to retire. No. H1M says Bud said he wants Charlo too. He's been saying that for years, man. Literally years. He's been saying he wants to move up to 54 when he was at 135, and we all thought he was. So he's kind of shutting us up. Bud said 154 is hard for him as well. Slightly, though it's easier than 35. This is a great comment from Dylan. Before the fight, if you would have told me Crawford would win, before the fight, if you would have told me Crawford would win, fine. But dominate the way he did, wow. That's it. That's it right there. That's exactly it. Like, we all thought that it was a pick'em. We didn't think it was a damn runaway. Not even the people who picked Crawford thought it was a damn runaway. Aaron Play 24 says Crawford proved me wrong. Yeah, he proved everybody wrong. Proved everybody wrong. KO'd on YouTube says, will Bomac win Trainer of the Year now? Maybe. Ron Williams says, Errol never even hurt Bud at 47. He would be crazy to try him at 54. Don't think Errol has got it. I think he was really good, and maybe the miles caught up to him. How bad did Crawford beat him? Horribly. Literally horrible. After the first round, it was over. Guys, request to join the live. Give your hot takes. I want to hear them. I want to hear the sizzling hot take. Juffy Lube says that car crash really ruined Errol's career. It changed the dynamic for sure. I agree with that. Like, here's the thing. Is Errol Hall of Famer already? Yes. Yes. Errol's a Hall of Famer. Is he as feared as we thought he was previously? DJ Neil 6 says the 2 knockdown round was when it was game over. We all knew he was. That was round 7, I believe. Yeah, it was awful. Awful. Big Fish says making excuses now. Who's crazy? I'll keep trying to find the post fight. Honestly, it might be. They might have already done it. Trying to find. You guys want to? Nobody wants to join this live and give a hot. That is incredible to me. All right, here is Errol Spence right after guys, courtesy of Fight Hub and Marcos V. Let me know if you guys can hear this. All right, let's pause this. Frankie wants to say something. Frankie, Frankie, how you doing? I'm good, man. What do you got? Hit me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Eh, great question. So, first off, right. So there was a lot of contention between both camps, Bob and Bud. What I think Bob was more invested was building other stars that he foresaw and didn't have a lot of stock in Bud, which was complete. That's probably why you heard in the post fight presser when Bud was like, everybody doubted me. I just kept my head to the I believe in myself, and I'm here now, which is the right answer. For Bob, I don't know what the fuck. I really don't. Like everybody that I talk to, and it's like, there's no reason to be aged, right? Like, we should not be bringing the fact that he's 93 into this. He has a keen eye for the sport. It's why he stuck around so long, why he managed Oscar De La Hoya, Muhammad Ali, Evander Holyfield. Like, he knows his stuff. Every once in a while, even it like even if you get a top 5 pick in the NBA draft, you just he completely misread this. My theory is there was something going on behind the scenes that Bob just disagreed with. Could be the politics. Why he would let a cash cow like this go, no clue. However, what I will say is credit to Bud for believing in himself and saying, screw Bob. There's no reason to stick around. There's also, as the market is dictating right now, their stock can become like Canelo signed a humongous contract with Zone, and then he said, screw it. I'm going to sign one fight deals. And then he just got the bag with Eddie. So there's actually a ton of stock in what these guys are doing, and I applaud him for it. So, so yes and no. Like I understand where you're coming from because the Bud stuff leaves a sour taste in our mouths. However, what he does have is the very really attractive for a lot of up and comers. What I'm curious to see is what he does, because I really don't have an answer. But like with Bud, there is the attractiveness of having the worldwide leader being on massive, and even the reach that Jared Anderson had. Even though, in my opinion, he didn't look that good, he still looked good enough that now a lot of people are talking about him, and it was probably their first fight watching him. George, wouldn't you agree that Ryan probably doesn't want? Which is another one he shouldn't want. Which is another one that he shouldn't want to fight any pressure fighters. None of them. I think what we learned from Ryan is I give him all the credit in the world for taking on Tank, who is incredibly feared. He doesn't do well with counterpunchers, and he doesn't do well with pressure fighters because he really has to land like one counter hook. And Tank even said, that might be your only shot. And guess what? He so I wouldn't put a lot of stock in Ryan. He can call out whoever he wants. I'm gonna watch no matter what. But what I think he needs to do is go back to the drawing board, maybe fight a Rolly, knock his ass out, get his confidence back, and then take on a bigger guy. Bro, I said this earlier. I said this earlier. Rolly can be a B minus C plus fighter, but he's great for the. Yeah, he taught him that his left hand is to be feared that much. All right, Frankie, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Good man. I agree. Um, it's an interesting question about Ryan. It's a really about Ryan. Like, where does he go? You guys are talking so so much smack about crazy. It's also crazy how like Salcido said like Rolly Ryan is what a 50 fight. How could that possibly be a 50-50 fight? Malone says Rolly will walk into got Errol disease coming in with his head just straight right there, ready to get hit. He'd probably get knocked out the same way he got knocked out against Tank. Greg Salazar says this was a Fury or Jones fighting Francis Ngannou. Hey Wayne hit the nail on. Rolly lost to that old man. Exactly. Exactly. Got helped. Got helped and saved. I could either play this Errol press conference or I could take another person who wants to join the live and get a hot take. I want sizzling takes. I want sizzling takes. Tyson Fury. Hey Wayne says, yeah, he is running. Stay Woke on YouTube says Bud was always a better fighter than Little Junior. Bud's actually the smaller guy. He's actually the much smaller guy. Come on, y'all. Request in. Who wants to give me a hot take? Give me your thoughts on the fight. Let's go. Talk about it. Talk about Bud beating the brakes off Errol. Let's go. I want to hear it. Request the live, y'all. Let's go. Might need more whiskey if we're. Errol needs to train with Floyd. Guys, he's not leaving Derek James. They've known each other since Errol was on the come up. Literally. Are you guys shy about joining? I don't understand. There's a ton of people in here. Yeah, there's like 800 people in here. Nobody can join the live and talk to me about it. Your take on the fight. Go. Okay. Just as Tank will be undisputed champ soon. Soon. Not right now, though. Tell me if you guys can hear this. You guys hear this? Courtesy of Fight Hub. Everybody, if you can, I know you're supporting my live and I appreciate it. We got to put on other Fight Hub TV on Fight Hub TV on Marcos Villegas does. So Errol has just asked, "Hey, how was the weight cut and what about 50?" I respect that. Sounds high. Short and sweet. Let me ask you guys something. Then I'm going to continue with the press conference via Fight Hub TV. What is the question you would ask? And like no trolly comments. Like I'm being serious. Like those press rooms can be tense. I'm being serious. Like really tense. What would be your question to Errol? I'm curious. See, this is a really good question. JL would ask 3 fights in 3 years since the crash. Have you gotten back to your full sharpness? What I would recommend, just real quick, off of someone went to school for this. Don't ask yes or no's because you give the athlete out really quickly. So reframe your question so it requires an answer that is more than yes or no. Good question. Give an ad. Hang on. I mean, one thing that I noticed, shortness. Probably just hell out of it. Gave credit to his opponent, which is great. Respectful, but about ready to go. Up once more. And then I'm going to bump the volume up. Legend. Really wants it. Pushing it. He's pushing one. Hopefully. That's a fair question. Fair question. Oh, Ban says he sounds off. He sounds off because he got crap beat. High five said always sounds like that. If only you could see the visual. His eyes are like practically challenge after the first knockdown. No, I think he beat. I think he got beat at every level. There was no mental challenge. The better man beating the brakes off the lesser opponent. Derek James, Errol's trainer. Quick reaction. Freshman says whack stoppage. That was not a whack stoppage. Nothing about it was a. Errol was getting crushed. Crushed. There was no reason to. He wasn't going to do anything. He wasn't going to land anything. His punches had no pop. They didn't have the same type of ferocity that he had in past fights. He got the wind knocked out of him. He got his will taken from him. He had nothing left. I don't know what you guys like wanted to see after that. He had nothing left. It was actually a great stoppage. Said that. So what? Don't stop it. My guy, have you never seen this sport before? Do you know what happens? He got knocked down in the 7th. He got knocked down he got knocked down in the 2nd. He got knocked down 2 times in the 7th. This is not for the faint of heart. They're people with families and kids. Their parents. Their sons. The referee, trainers. Everybody's goal is to have a good, clean fight, but also make it home that. Stop it when a fighter has had enough. Errol had nothing after the first round. Nothing. He was gassed. He was outworked. He was outboxed. His strategy was off. He got put down for the first time and then got put down some more. He had nothing left in the tank. Practically like saying, like, yeah, you know, I might be out of gas, but, you know, fuck AAA. You know what I'm going to do? Push the car. Why? You want to get home, don't you? You want to struggle? Or you want to lift? If that kept going, it would only get worse. And he would get pummeled. Why? Why? That was one of the ballsier stoppages, and I'm 1,000% for it. There is no reason for Errol to keep going. Because you know what would have happened? Hospital. He wouldn't be answering questions. Come on, we got to be more objective here. We got to be able to see this stuff from a wide angle, objective lens. This is too much. I love this. I've covered this. I've talked to the fighters. They're not going to stop themselves. They need to be saved. Simultaneously, he had nothing left. It's not even debatable. At that point, what do you want to see? What do you want to see? Want to see him get stretchered out of the ring? Like, for real. Like, this is dumb. We can't be asking these guys, say, hey, you didn't get your head knocked. Weak stoppage. You know what you should. Come on, man. Errol's straight up on his phone. Can I ask her a question? Good question. Add. Add. LJR. Probably should have happened 3. I agree. Okay, so that was press conference. Terence. Uh, Curious to hear. All right, so it's one video. Get to Terence. Fight Hub. Stuff on YouTube. Terence Crawford. Appreciate you. Wow. Wow. That's so cool. So cool. Right. Yep. Answer. Uh, Colt says just not lying. He's mad. So interesting. So interesting. Hearing what prize fight after their being like look, one, we're humble against Errol. I don't have a personal connection with Ellie Seckback, but to go to that level is low. Low. What's the point? The point. But if you want to call out Ellie at the same time, you know, simultaneously, all you're doing. That is. Why is there any purpose in using that word? You can call out people. Like, why do you have to stoop to that level? Deserving. Deserving. Courtney Johnson says, guys like you don't have a platform, yet here you are giving me one. All because I disagreed with how he called someone an R word. That's all that this came. Like, that's fucked. I love Ellie. Love him, I don't care. Terence is right. His approach was awful. What are we, 5? The damn warrior. I've worked in. Would I ever know what it's like to be? No. It's all coming down to because I disagree with the way that he answered a question. Word that was. Don't say the R word. Come on. Here's the thing. Oh, it's not woke, dude. Literally don't even know the definition. This is sad, man. If Ellie said that, I could pull. If Ellie said that, yeah, 1,000% serving him. Go to that levels foul. God bless Bomac. The uh back of their half zip say every big fish. God, the man, I love Bomac. Amen. Amen, Bomac. Yes. What? What? Add. Hang on. Here we go. In case you're just joining, this is Terence Bud. Congrats to him. Congrats to him. Stuff. Good stuff, man. Here's Shakur Stevens, Fight Hub, reacting to Errol Spence, Terence Bud Crawford. Here we go. Hold. Let me find it. There we go. Sorry it's so loud. Back. Somebody said, "Would you fight Bud at 54?" That I'd never fight Bud a day of my life. God, that's